It's the time you burn. Show tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that vow. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up. We're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tanya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step it all renews. In a step it all renews.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? Listen, if you are on, do me a favor, click like, share, and subscribe. It has been a minute since we have been on, or since I have been on, since we have been on, since we've been out. So it is a lot to talk about, a lot to go over. And if you watched last night's meeting, you're probably still recovering. I'm just saying. You're probably still recovering. So look, do me a favor, drop in where you're from as I am trying to share this out. Listen, and I can't see any of the comments. I cannot, but give me a minute. I'm I'm gonna have to look. Hey there, Kai. I can't. Hey, B Marie. I can't see any of the comments right now. So, hey, Denise, unless they're on the screen. So you have to give me a minute for all of those so that I can actually put those up so I can respond. So I'm gonna have to switch out of a couple of things to see. Ah. Okay, because I can't see. So whether you're on Facebook or whether you are on YouTube, thank you for joining me this evening. Thank you. And if any of you watched last night's city council meeting, you deserve a reward, compensation, and probably some free winning lottery tickets because it was a lot. Hey, Jessica, it was a lot. It was honestly a lot. Let me go back on here. So give me just a moment to kind of get things together. I want to say first thank you to Jonathan. And Jonathan is producing my show, and I want to say thank you to my two moderators. Okay. Now I'm getting on. Now I'm getting it together, y'all. My two moderators, Patrick Jean, and we have Sheena Beckton. So I want to say thank you. Hey, Carson Neubauer. Hey. And so wherever you are from, now I can look, now I can see. I can't see Facebook right now because I gotta look on something else for that, y'all. I gotta look on something else for that. So look, so thank you to each and every one of you. So B. Marie, Lady Carver, Marcia Tolbert, Andre Holland, Michelle Young, Shannon Ellis, hey, Marcia. Oh, let me get my glasses. Look, DeBrian, is it DeBrian Stan? Marcia, what happened to the nip? Okay, now y'all out here. Okay, look, they usually come on at 6. Tasha Lynn, Gutter Black. Y'all know, Gutter Black, I just like saying that. I do. You know I do. Rhonda Atkins from Saginaw. Look, we got some Sag Nasties up in here tonight. Look, I used to live there. Country Bama. Denise Cousin, Jessica Dargan. Our, we're going to say 312. Our HO row. Okay. Okay. Avis Hopkins. Merck 76. What's going on? Was 704 Charlotte, but I haven't seen you in a long. I feel like it's been a long time since I have really been on. I honestly, and it really has with any normality. So I need to look at a couple of these so I can actually. Now they know better. Okay, I'm good. I'm good on this one. So look, it has been a lot going on, and I'm very serious. If you watched last night's council meeting, it was like the Twilight Zone. Honestly, it was like the Twilight Zone, but we see that things do change when you do not have 5 votes. And people have to start voting the way that they should and asking the questions. And it makes a difference because it's election season. And there are things that have been going on that shouldn't have been going on for a very long time. No one has gotten thrown out of city council since October of last year. Not a single person. Okay, there we go. I can look, I can see Facebook now too. Hey, Sonia, look, oh, I don't have all of, if you on my page, if you on the Tanya Burns show, I can see it on the Facebook side. Hey, Country Bama, thank you. I can see the Facebook side on if you're on the Tanya Burns show. Hey, Javar Ellis. So listen, we're gonna start with a lot of things. Why haven't I been here? Okay, y'all. I was really sick, and I don't think know if I really described what was going on, but there has been a lot going on, and we're gonna have some days of just covering up to maybe we can come in and I can do like a I'm shining like bright gold. Look, I need to go get a suntan then. No, listen. Um, we're going to. I ain't going nowhere. Hey, from Philly. Um, there's been a lot, and it's like I was saving up things. So one of the things, because I try to be transparent as I can, and so I was really sick and I needed to heal. So a lot of people may not know what pericarditis is, but my family, my uncle had an 80th birthday party. I told everybody who got on them airplanes, wear a mask, and if you can, wear two. They didn't wear them. Nope, nope. They did not wear them. So what happened? Almost a majority of my family, we were all sick at the same time, except for my one uncle who was in North Carolina who kept calling to say, I think you sound the worst. You sound the worst. And so we were all sick about the same time. They were sharing their wonderful of whatever virus. So the virus went in when I caught the virus, I probably should have went to the doctor sooner to get some type of antibiotic or something, but it turned into pericarditis. And pericarditis is inflammation of the pericardium, a fluid-filled sac surrounding the heart. Acute pericarditis can occur after an infection. I had an infection, but may have an unknown or other cause. 15 to 30% of patients may develop recurrent pericarditis despite treatment. So I have had treatment. So when you heard me on that line, so hold on. So here's what the symptoms of pericarditis: sharp chest pain, um, with deep breathing, coughing, or lying down, shortness of breath, fever, fatigue, or cough, and irregular heartbeat. Yep, I checked all those boxes. That is what I had. And that was when I went to Hurley. And I will say, and I couldn't get a blanket, but I had been back with some other folks, and they got blankets, and the blankets was warm blankets. They were warm. They weren't cold. They were warm. So this is what I did go to. My doctor told me, hey, I need you to rest. I was like, well, what does rest look like to you? What does rest look like to you? And so he made it very clear what rest was. I don't want to see you at any council meetings or my staff. I don't want to see you on the news for anything. And I don't want to hear that you have been on social media. So I pretty much abided by what he said. I really did, y'all. I did. And so it was interesting because it's always something happening in Flint. And I had to really sit down and look at the walls. Literally look at the walls. And so I do feel better. I did go to two meetings. One was our um, police officers union, or their contract, because that was important. I wanted to make sure that my voice was heard. I wanted to know what was going on, because when it's an executive session, you cannot talk about what's in there, even though it comes out anyways in the news somehow, because someone always tells them. So I don't even know why we go in executive session for that, because the news actually reports the same thing that we actually, we may even talk about. And so I went for that. The details of that, of the contract, were important, and we did have some. There were some questions that were in there, but the news did a good job of covering it. And there were some other things. Also, I was on the line when we had to call in to for the GLEWA. And thanks to all of those who went down and those who spoke, went in person. There were many people who went down in person and spoke, and kudos to them. And it is appreciated, because it's going to take all of us in our community. In addition to those who sat on the line, and I sat on the line. Now, I sounded like I had smoked probably some Pall Malls, some Camels, no filters, a couple of cigars, because my voice was horrible. And now it's still not where it should be, but it's a lot, it's about 90% better. And this was really, I mean, y'all, this was a lot of pain. I'm going to tell you what they gave me in the hospital. The pain was so severe that they gave me the morphine, then they gave me Motrin, and then they gave me it starts with the C, another medication. And I was like still not like sleepy or anything, because the pain, it numbed the pain. Then the day before I left, they did give me, I was on Motrin, the other medication that starts with the C, that treats this. And then I had narcos, and they don't give you narcos, and I'm not a good narco taker at all, because I like to be alert, but they do not affect me like they affect other people. They just don't. So that part of my care is done. But for 3 months, I have to um, make sure that I follow and do what I'm supposed to do. So there was like no laundry, no cleaning, no stairs, no picking up absolutely anything, not a pound, not five, not anything, just resting. So I watched a lot of reruns, a lot of reruns, a lot. I never watched that much TV in my life. So, anyways, so that part is done. So the day that I got sick was when the Color of Law Coalition, the women and one gentleman, where we had went out and fed the homeless, or we fed the unhoused at Catholic Charities. And that was, I think, what, February the 3rd. And so when we went out, we had prepared soup, and we had prepared, I'm sorry, my allergies. We had prepared, hey, Casey, hey, Jerron. Look, I'm seeing them on the other side. They're on the Facebook side. Hey, Debbie. Look, I'm gonna steal some shouts out. So you can put those up, Jonathan, the pictures, as we can filter through those. And hey, Marcia, Avis. Hey, Taya. Uh, who else did I miss? Marcia says, I have a small report of inconsistencies between 3/8 meeting and last night's meeting. It's fascinating how many lies were told. You can't make it up. You cannot make that up. But hold that thought. I'm going to get back to that. So this was the last day where this day, the ladies served fried chicken dinners, string beans, potatoes, mashed potatoes, gravy, and a dinner roll, and juice and pop, and so on. And so they have been continuing to serve. I believe Tanya Jones was out there today, Debbie Clark and Debbie and Diane and Beverly, Sherry. This was the dinners at my mother's house. My mother was ready for me to leave, because she thought I turned her house into a restaurant. And so, like, got to pack my part up and go. They gave out coats, hats, gloves, and so and just fellowshipped. And so, look, there they go. And it was cold. It was cold that day. That was the last day I was out before I was literally to be stuck in my house. And met some interesting people. Met some very interesting people that day. The more, I think it's the Mormons that were out. and they go out a lot on bicycles. See, look, I look sick right there. I should have known. So look, there we go out there. There, and they fed them also. Um, that day, I think they served 65 people, but I think the numbers where Tanya Jones goes, is she goes all over Flint serving. That that that's they had already started going in, and it's a lot. And I want to say Carol Kincaid has helped. She has served. So it's been with the color of law. It's a those ladies, they may have more time. My look, this was another night we went out where everybody was just, this was the night. You see, Tanya Jones does not have on boots. She does not have on boots because prior to us making it to this location, she had um, given her boots to the lady, a young lady in the house that burned down on Martin Luther King. She didn't have she had no boots on, no shoes, because she had taken her her boots off and given them to to someone. And this was the night that I learned the next day when I talked to Chief Green. I said, hey, we have people that are living in this house. And is there help that we can get for housing? And also speaking to our public health office. And the hope is just, this is Tanya feeding the gentleman. I don't think they've seen him since then, but she was feeding him. She got some new boots on that right there. And so this was when we learned that. I said, well, we had a lady that was in there that didn't have any shoes on, nothing was on her feet. And this is when I learned, he said, that's what they do to the girls or the women that they're trafficking. And I didn't know that. I had no idea that this was what they do, traffickers. They take the shoes, they'll throw you in an abandoned house or leave you in a house, and they take your shoes so you cannot leave. Um, and so this is how, and Tanya Jones had taken her boots off because that night when we were over, I think on the east side is where we started at, and her husband had picked up one of the unhoused persons, and we went over to, he showed us places that we did not know where they were living at. And in every community, just about throughout, where we think there are, and they're not trying to be seen. Flint has a large unhoused or homeless population that we just simply don't see. They're not trying to be seen. And all of these people are not bad people. These are people with mental health issues and some people who have fell on bad times, not bad people, but fell on bad times. Flint's market rate is over $1,000 a month. That's not affordable. It's not affordable housing at all. And that doesn't include all your bills paid. So I do want to say this to all of the ladies with the color of law who serve and work on that, which would be Debbie, Diane, Tanya Jones, Sherry, um, Taylor, Stanley. Did I say Sherry? Who else? Did I say Beverly? And then all the volunteers who have showed up. But that's the night where, like I said, this is Thanksgiving night, Thanksgiving Day, evening. She took her shoes off to give to someone because they didn't have, the lady didn't have any boots. So, um, so that's what takes. So this was my last day, February the 3rd. This is that your girl was in there looking at four walls. And so I've been doing a whole lot better. Um, but I did make it to a couple meetings. And my doctors, one of the nurses, she did tell on me. She told. I didn't know she followed me on social media, but she told. So, but anyways, all is good. It got to the point they're like, well, if you watch it at home, you're probably going to raise your blood pressure. If you go, you need to maintain and just be calm, be calm. And so I went because it was hard watching when I was at home. I literally was yelling at the TV like I was going to get an answer. Like, why did you ask about that? And I'm like, oh God. So, but I want to say thank you to the color of law. coalition ladies and the one gent for the work that they do in this community, and for those who volunteer to help them, who want to be a part, because it is going to take the community to save the community, and it has to be a we thing and not an I thing. It has to be we. It's about we. We have to. And people say, well, you don't need to come together. You have to. We're stronger in larger numbers and with our voices. So, but listen, we're going to get on to last night, because I'm not doing 6 hours, because we're going to just start doing some shorts. We got a lot of stuff to catch up. It's a lot of stuff going on in our country. A lot of stuff. So, but we're going to start with the fire. And like I said, that night you saw the shoes that she had taken off, and there is a video that's out there, but I want to protect their privacy. We went to this house. This was one of the homes that we went to where literally when we pulled up, the people were pouring out of the home. They were pouring. They came out from across the street, out from the house. And there are days where the ladies, they would go because they serve more days than, as many as they can possible, that they would go in and feed. And they knew they create bonds and relationships with these people. So they were building their trust. So they knew the people that were killed in this fire. So let's start with else. Thank you. So I want to start with this one. Can we, do you, let's count how many firefighters are on that ladder? One, two, three, four. Is it five that are on that ladder? And that's over the front of the house and the porch. So one of the things we learned, our firefighters do not get paid anything. This is a job I would not do. I'm sorry, cannot thank you for what they do. And there is no way. I appreciate and how what the work that they do and how they serve our community, without a doubt. Let's go to the other video. And y'all hit that like button. Jonathan, did it play? Was that it, Jonathan? Y'all, look, I gotta adjust my light. Look, now I look green. And there were many pictures. Can we put the one up that shows the pictures, Jonathan, and filter through those pictures? I don't know if you had downloaded them, but look, thank you to those brave firefighters. But unfortunately, three people lost their lives in that fire. And because we don't have a place now, and the warming centers are not 24 hours, they have to have shelter during the day. They have to. And so and there's men, women, and there are children. There are children who actually are at the City of Hope, Catholic Charities. There are children who are there with their parents and babies that are there. And this is just not, when we look at our homeless community, we are not doing what we should be doing for our homeless community. There is no way, with us having buildings and having money that has come through here, and we say, oh, almost $1 billion. We should be able to house every person that's willing to go into a shelter or temporary housing before we get them long-term housing. We should not have one person that should be left out in the cold. This year, the Color Law Coalition bought boots, sleeping bags, socks, coats, hats, gloves, the neck warmers. That's that coats too, coats. Um, there were clothes given, backpacks with Narcan in them, with snacks in them. So many different things that were in them. Yeah, Can you just make it? Yeah, this is sad. Prayers for those who lost their lives in this deadly fire. And this was a 3-story home, 10 bedrooms, 7 baths, was sold to I think in February, an investor had bought the home, and it was burned down to the ground. It was burned down to a very big home. So 10 bedrooms, 7 baths. And so as we filtered through the pictures, this was just sad. I mean, I remember that night that we first rode up and we didn't know people were living in there. And the ladies that would go back, Sherry and Tanya and Debbie and Diane would go back to feed them frequently. And so, yeah, if we can go. So this was a tragedy. This was a tragedy. Um, because if they had proper shelter, I mean, this shouldn't have happened. And we don't have places for our homeless to be. And a lot of times the shelters are, they're full. Or if you come after a certain time, you're not getting in. You're not getting in. If that's all of them, Jonathan, we can take it. We can take it down. So I want to say thank you to the Flint Fire Department, because that was, and all the other fire departments that assisted, because that was something that was devastating. Then to find 3 people died in the fire. There were reports that there was a baby. There was no baby that was in there. That was early reports from workers from the city of Flint. And then you had one, the last I checked, was hospitalized. There was one that was hospitalized. So prayers for that person, that may they recover. But this was devastating. 3 lives were lost in this deadly fire. 3 lives. And what we're finding with these homes, even though that this one was bought by a person, the homes are just not secure. They're not boarded up. They're not locked. And so, or often they take the boards off. I had a person who had died in a home on Court Street where the house had actually been on fire 2 or 3 other times. And I had requested to have it torn down, and it is on the demo list, still on the demo list, and it is open to the environment. And a man lost his life. He went in there, sat in there. They believe he fell asleep and started to burn something, and he died in the fire. And that's in my ward. So it is unacceptable that at this day and age that one, if you have a hole in the person's insurance check, board up the house. Make it secure and safe. Because if you don't even make any attempt, then it's a problem. And another problem is we get a lot of people with real estate investors. They're not even in here. They're not even in Flint. I was working on something today with the people who bought some from Florida. Florida. They will never even know what they're buying. They're not going to come here, a lot of them. So it makes it difficult for our community, because when you sell to outside investors, it's just that an investment, and they aren't invested into our community. But prayers for those who lost their lives in that. So one of the things I do want to talk about is we've been in budget hearings. And if you've been watching the budget hearings, they have been pretty interesting too. But we learned exactly, I believe it's the starting rate. What do our firefighters start at? What is their pay? It's awful, is what it is. It's awful. It's awful. And so they are paid at 15.91, I believe, an hour. 15.91 an hour. And let me go here. Hey, hey, Cynthia. Hey, Carolyn. I see you in there, Kamisha. Hey, Beverly. Hey, Catherine McGowan. Hey, Helen Brock. Hey, Deacon Dumas. Hey, Monica Souther. Hey, Reed Johnson. Hey, Jerron Dodson. Okay, listen. So Flint firefighters are paid $15.91 per hour and $41,000 per year. Flint had 3,609 fires in 2025, with 353 of the fires classified as arson. So that means at least one fire per day that the Flint Fire Department had to go to was classified as an arson. So every day you go to work, you may have to fight a fire that's arson. But they were also called out to 3,609 fires, which that's about 9 or 10 fires a day. That is a lot for that pay. You have 5 firefighters up on that ladder fighting a fire, and they knew people lived in there, I'm sure, because everyone knew, and trying to save lives and to extinguish a flame. When everyone else is running in, running out of a fire, they're running into a fire to extinguish flames and to save lives. So I appreciate our firefighters. I appreciate them. I truly do, because they're doing a job that the quality of work is, I think Dorian Green said, he, and it's on my page. He says they do a job that Flint does not pay them properly for. They do a job that, since emergency management has not been taken care of or fixed with their pay, that he enjoyed a great career with the Flint Fire Department. My uncle Nicholas Harrison actually retired from the Flint Fire Department. In addition, my uncle Nicky, he did not graduate. He retired from there, and it's not the same. And so we need to start looking out for the people who we need them to look out for us. And that's a lot of fires. That's a lot. And I believe Flint is in the top 5 with fires. I think someone said in arson, I believe per capita in Michigan, we're number 1. And so that's a lot. That is a lot. And a lot of them, what they do, the firefighters, they get the experience here and they take it to another municipality, because they're getting nothing but experience here and doing everything. They get the experience and they go where they feel that they're paid, and they take their experience and they take their talent and they go. And so we need to be making sure that we compensate them and pay them in a way that a living wage. They deserve a livable wage. And some people were on my post saying, "Oh, they can go to Wendy's and work, and get paid more. They go to McDonald's and not have to do all that." And that fire gear the fire apparatus is heavy. The material, the tanks on the back, it's not, it's to prevent, to protect you in a fire. But generally 20 years, you need to be out and done, because that wears on your body. So Denise Gunn says it's hard for anyone that follows all Tanya Jones videos, as I felt probably some more than just Josh. Also, a girl commented she lost her brother Kevin in the fire Tuesday. Prayers for all. Yeah, it is. It's sad. It's sad. So I want to say thank you to the Flint firefighters. They will be in, I believe, starting contract negotiations soon. They deserve a better contract. They are deserving. They fought 3,609 fires last year, with 353 of them being fires that were intentionally and purposely set. And that would also include St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church that was firebombed, and no one has been arrested yet. So it would definitely include that. So, all right, we're going to go on to some other things now. And prayers to the families for those who lost the victims of the fire on MLK, Martin Luther King Avenue, used to be Detroit Street. So we're going to go on to, so everyone probably saw the video with the house with the tires. I don't know how they put almost 200 tires in that house. I have never seen tires packed in a basement, upstairs, downstairs, on the front porch, in the living room. They literally took their time and stacked the tire. I had never seen that in my life. So one of the videos that I watched, was first I saw Michigan Now, where they were walking around the house. And I'm like, okay. And I'm walking, listening. He's walking around the house, and he's like, well, I'm not going to show the video over there because there's a dog over there. And there's a dead dog over there. I was like, oh, okay. And I'm watching it. And then I watched Mayor Neely's video. And I think his cowboy hat was about to blow up. It was Mayor Neely, Chief Green, and Chief Wiggins. And I watched it. But that was second. But one of the things that was alarming was the dog. No one acknowledged the dead dog in the back. But let's play Michigan's Now video first, please.
What's up, y'all? Happy Friday. We are actually going to be doing a story on just kind of how the city of Flint is combating illegal dumping. So they actually brought us out to a house on the north side of Flint. It's going to be one of the worst cases of illegal dumping I've ever seen. But let me just show you guys. I'm going to walk around the house. But like I said, north side of Flint. We just did a press conference on this. But I just wanted to show you guys how crazy this dumping is, guys. So you guys can see tons of tires, even goes into the, looks like the living room. So yeah, all those tires dumped there. I don't know if you guys can see, it must be like the living room window right there. You can even see a tire up there. And it's not over. They even did the downstairs and packed it full of tires as well. So this house is obviously looks burnt down, or about, obviously it had a fire one time. This is the basement, guys. Look at this. It is insane. And I'll show you guys the back. And I'm just forewarning you guys, I'm not going to show you the right side of the house because there's a dead dog on that side. Excuse the foul language on that building there, but tires there. I mean, this is just, once again, I'm going to cover that part because there's a dead dog there. Try to keep, so I don't traumatize some of you guys. But this is the back of the building. Once again, I'm not going to show you that corner because there's a dead dog. I don't know if you guys can really see in there, but I'll show you guys around the house. But Mayor Sheldon Neely pretty much said that he knows that, local people, individual people probably don't have that many tires. So it had to be a company that did this. So they're on the lookout for who did this. They actually just said that they can impound your cars and will be impounding your cars if they catch you illegally dumping or any equipment used to illegally dump. They'll seize it, impound it, and sell it. And there's also up to $1,000 cash reward for telling people information. So once again, let me show you guys that. It is a mess. I'm not going to go on the porch because it's already fallen through a little bit. But look at that, guys. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any pictures of dumping in your area. Send it there. I'll use it in the broadcast later. But this is insane. I've been to a bunch of, illegal dumping spots before. I don't think I've ever seen a house filled to the brim with tires. So I guess, once again, I'll even put it in the background and try not to fall off the steps. But yeah, so if you guys do know anyone that's illegally dumping, the city of Flint is offering up to $1,000 cash reward for any information leading to convictions. But yeah, once again, you guys will have much more coming up at 6. But if you guys do have any illegal dumping in your area, let us know about it so we can catch some video of it. Or if you have pictures, we'll use it in the broadcast as well. But yeah, that story will be coming up at 6. Hope you guys have a great Friday. And I feel like this is yeah, Josh, the mayor did say that. Yep, they do believe it is a company that did this, not an individual person, but they're just forewarning people that they will seize your vehicles, anything involved in illegal dumping. And like I said, if you guys have information, you guys can get up to $1,000 cash reward. All right, one last time, just because this is insane, especially for all you guys that are just joining the live. This is the basement. If you guys are in the area, obviously it's abandoned, so you can check it out if you want. Be careful. Don't do what I'm doing, standing on some of the stuff. But just forewarning, if you guys do check out, you live in the area, there's a dead dog behind the right side of that house. So don't want to traumatize you guys so much. But anyway, hope you guys have a great Friday. That story will be coming up at 6. See you guys. Have a good one.
Okay. So I don't know who was the expert tire packing in the house because they packed that house. Packed it. I ain't never seen so many tires in the house in my life. I never have I seen them, first of all. But that looks like a tire company. That looks like a tire company. But I appreciate him saying when he's doing the walk around, he's videotaping. Hey, I'm not going to show this part. This may, be, sensitive, and I do want, we will show the part where Kristen went, and so there. If you have children, there's some parts that are going to be sensitive. So, because we're going to get to that, but when that'll be coming up. But this was one of the things that bothered me. So all the reporters knew that there was a deceased pet that was back there, which the mayor knew because they were asking him about that. Did they know? And so they had their podium. Can we put the picture up with the press conference? and bringing awareness. That was ridiculous with the blight there. So we had this is the mayor's Flint cracking down on illegal dumping. They brought their podium. Their mayor brought his podium, and this was a very bad case of dumping. Very, very bad. And I do, and for Sarah Houston, clearly people are listening to you. People are listening, and so there was an interpreter that was there, and he's been at an interpreter has been at the last several of um, of his um, of his press conferences, so that the hearing impaired can also hear. Um, so this was that part was good. The tires, that was, it took a lot of work. Can you imagine just laying a tire on top and top and top and top? I can't imagine that. So, but here was one of the things. So after they left, they did the press conference. They brought their own portable podium, packed up the portable podium. In the back, everyone knows there's a dead dog that's back there that you can see the bones. So what do we, so Kristen Ellis and her husband were clearly watching this. They set out to find the house to make sure that the dog that they named the dog Peter gets a proper burial. Meantime, they packed up their podium and they just got down. They left. Let's get, look, we did the picture, we did the press conference. Let's go. So let's put up the picture where we get the picture, and it was sent to me, where Kristen, and she says, want to see rescue in Flint. She says the house that was full of tires, the news was there, but completely ignored the fact that there was a dead dog in the yard. I'm gonna give this to her. I couldn't have did what she did. I mean, she is passionate. They rescue pets. And that is and if children are this is sensitive. She is holding the dog that was in the backyard. Um, I couldn't have. I had a rescue dog. My dog name was Shadow. Did not know that he had had a bullet. He was a rescue dog. He had been abused badly. He had a little brother dog, and they were dumped actually. And the dog had went to 5 people in my family, and it ended up with me. But the dog had some social issues and some other things. So I know how it is, when you love pets. Um, but she rescues everything and has been all over. She was talking about working, in Texas and doing different type of rescues. So it's a kudos to her and her husband, because they went there after the press left. The dog was left there, and they went and found the house, and there were some pictures. Can you show the other pictures? I think we have to show more care in our community. I think we do, because people love their animals, and for some people, you see a lot of people now that the compassion pets, where your pets going to the grocery stores, or they'll travel with you on an airplane. So you will see those, the companion pets. And I don't know, Jonathan, if I sent you the other pictures, but I that to me, you can do two things at once. One, the dog should have been removed properly and shouldn't have been left there. She went and got the dog from in the back. Kristen did, and uh, made sure the dog was taken care of properly, her and her husband. And I want to say she's one badass chick. She is. She is, because her love and their love is amazing. And they work with other groups. They work with Bill Heatley. A lot of people know Bill Heatley. Bill Heatley will chip the dogs. They rescue dogs. And when she stood back out there, this was the dog. You see, that's a bowl back there. There's a leash that was, or a collar that was around his neck. So at some point, and if you see a dog being misused, report it. It is against the law. And if it's cold outside to you, it's cold to your dog. If it's hot outside to you, it's hot for your dog. And we have to understand that they have lives too. They're living, and a lot of people, they love their dogs, and I completely understand that, because sometimes it's just you and your dog. They say man and his dog. Well, it's people love their pets or their cats. And so they did dispose of the dog that she named Peter, and they disposed properly. The mayor and them packed up their podium and they left. Wait a minute, Neely had a press conference at a house and didn't get the dead dog out. No, he did not. He did not. The dog, you see, can you put the picture back up of Kristen? I couldn't have did that. I could not have did that. Um, and she was so emotional when she talks about it to this day. It's very emotional for her. I met with her and her husband and Bill Heatley today. We had a very good conversation. But no, they left. You don't see the podium gone. The podium is gone. You saw Mid Michigan now state, hey, we're not going to show the dog that is deceased. I mean, where is the care? Where is the kindness and the compassion? Get somebody. You over a whole city. They couldn't come get the dog. I mean, come on. I have had dogs, and there's got to be a dog fighting ring in my neighborhood because we find dogs in garbage bags and dogs between the sidewalk and the street, and they're all bit up. Problems with dog breeders or illegal dog breeders. And so they have been educating me, and it was a good meeting. So, one thing I do want to say out of this tragedy, what we are working on is a program. And this is a program I had talked about before, and getting it off going, it's going to take all of us because dogs are roaming everywhere. I had 5 people in 2025, um, and two in 224 who were bitten by dogs. I had an 80-year-old lady who lost her leg to a dog bite. She was attacked over in Mott Park. I had 2 other people that were attacked in Mott Park. Then I had some people who were attacked in Glendale Hills. These were in my ward. And so we have to understand that we need education and public service announcement and how to handle our dogs. But Kristen is a badass chick because she said, you know what? I'm going to make sure I go over there and dispose of and give this dog that I'm now going to name Peter a proper disposal. And animal rights activists, everybody know how people feel, and when you about people's pets and about dogs and our animals, and that did not show any. You do a you do a press conference, bring your own podium, and then you skedaddle and you leave the dog. That's not how that's an embarrassment. That should not have been done. But thanks to people like Kristen and her husband, Bill Heatley, who rescue dogs and dogs that are deceased. Bill Heatley will come and scan them because they do chips. And then he will install a chip it's actually a nominal amount of, for a price. It's not very expensive. They're cheaper than the vet where they will chip the dog. They would chip the dog. Then we need a citizen of the county animal abuse and care department or group. Yes, we do. We do. Um, so there are some things that, when we talk, and a lot of things that we have to have are conversations. We have some great conversations today, some very, very great ones. And I appreciate them because there are things that, how their day starts. They're like, no, we cook food for the dog. I said, hot food? They're like, yeah, we cook stew. We do rice, protein, a probiotic, vegetables. And when we go out for the rescues, we make a hot meal for the dogs. They do this. And so I'm looking forward to, oh, put that one back. But somebody said something about rabies. 4 cases of rabies in Michigan. So make sure they have their rabies shots. Okay. Thanks, Zach Stormy. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't know that. Um, So it's like what they do rescues on the weekends, but they're preparing food. They're cooking it. They're cooking food to take to the pets. And like if you see that dog, I don't know how long that dog had been out there, but that dog was skin and bones. You can see the dog's rib cage. You can see it. So that is a tragic way for any pet to die. And everybody don't deserve to be a pet owner. Some people don't deserve to uh, be parents or be able to take care of people. I don't have a lot of sympathy for if you can't take care of humans, you definitely shouldn't have a pet. So um, let's go on to the next one. So thank you. And I want to say to Kristen, Bill Heatley. Oh, can you put up the picture with the 4 of us? We had a very in-depth conversation. So that's Bill Heatley. Bill served in the military. That's Kristen. That's her husband. And we were at um, we had went to a coffee bar, and it was actually a nice coffee. It was not located in the city of Flint, but it was a nice coffee bar. They live in Flint. They actually live in Flint, but I didn't want to walk 20 miles because I usually go downtown to a coffee shop. And we don't have like a lot of coffee shops where you ain't got to, and look, nobody wanted a ticket. Okay. Nobody did. But we went to this nice coffee shop, and if you're on, it's by Fouch's on Linden and Corona Road. I forget the name of, but it is very nice, y'all. It's really, really nice. I was w- I was pleasantly surprised. Let me say that. Pleasantly surprised about it. And so if you over there by Fouch's behind where the speedway is, that corner of Linden and Miller, go over there. It's a very nice decor, furniture, nice. It's nice. It was nice. And so we had a very good job. We were going to be working on some things together, and it was good because we have to come together on something. The education, being a pet owner is not the same as rescuing pets. Not at all. I had no idea, no idea. And that is not the skill set that God gave me. It is not. But thank God that we have these three who this is what they do, this is their passion, and then it's more, and this is what they do. And I'm going to have them on one day. We're going to, I'm going to have them on so that people can kind of get to know them. We need to see if Genesee County Animal will do free rabies shots in the spring instead of the fall. You know what, Zach? That's where we need to be talking to the Genesee County commissioners. They meet, I think, every other Wednesday, and we need to be speaking with and you can go there just like city council and speak and let them know, and we can all do that. We need to let them know because the animal control is the Genesee County Animal Control. And we do need to be speaking with them because that's where, they have a budget for that. And we need to let them know what we need, and they sit there, they listen. And I'm quite sure a lot of them may have pets too. So kudos to them. Kudos to them. And so, where's my oh, can you put up my little rescue dog? Look, I had to put him down. No, y'all. Um, did I send that one to you? So I get what they feel, because when you have a dog, for many of us, it becomes a family member. And my little dog, well, it was technically my son's dog, then it ended up my dog, and he was spoiled. But I would take him to work with me every single day. Oh, I didn't send it to you. I would take him to work with me every single day. He would drive. He would actually he would sit in my lap, y'all. He was spoiled. He would sit in my lap on my way to Chicago, and while I would drive, but I had to put him down. I had to put him down. I don't know what I did with that. Yep, that's him. Yep, that was Shadow. And so Shadow was a fierce little he was a fierce little dog. And he was a rescue dog. Cost me $986 to find out what was going on. He was in excruciating pain because there was a bullet that was lodged by his spine that could not be removed. And so until I had to, we didn't know how old he was. They age him. They estimate the age by the teeth. And so he was put down. I had put him down about a year and a half ago, because he was having seizures. And I remember I took him outside to use the restroom, and he sat by the tree in the backyard, like, look, I'm over this. You can bury me right now, because his seizures were getting bad. And I should have had him put down a lot longer, because there was, the medication wasn't working. And he was clearly uncomfortable. And when he would seize up, he would just freeze and like fall over. And he was like, look, I don't want to go up any stairs. I don't want to do anything anymore. So that is my rescue dog, who was a dog that was abandoned at my aunt and uncle house, had been with 5 family members, finally found his forever home with me, and until I had to put him down. So that's Shadow. That is Shadow. And Stephanie Rogers used to call him Shadow the attack dog because he was vicious, but he was a smart dog. He was so smart. So smart. Okay, we're gonna move on past that. But Kristen, kudos to you, Bill, and your husband because y'all are awesome. And thank you to people like you. People do need to be educated on how to take care of their pets. And those are some of the things that we are going to talk about. But you can also go speak at Genesee County Animal Control at the Genesee County Commissioners meetings, which you can Google it, and they meet every other Wednesday, I believe. Every other Wednesday. So let's go on to Saginaw. ARPA has been a big issue because we really don't know. In December 2023, they voted to put that 40 million into the general fund. We now know we don't know where that money at. So let's play this because Saginaw, they're suing. Let's play it.
Allegations of fraud and embezzlement are part of a civil lawsuit filed against a Saginaw area church. The alleged missing money is Saginaw ARPA dollars, money that was given to local governments following the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, Terry, how was that church involved?
Well, Cheryl, the bishop of World Outreach Campus, Hurley Coleman Jr., was named as a fiduciary of a faith-based entity that was helping Saginaw teenagers get jobs. The lawsuit claims that after an audit was done, all the money wasn't going to that program.
Some of the money was missing.
YEARN stands for Youth Employment Recreation Network. It is made up of Saginaw community organizations, and it was to receive more than $2.1 million from Saginaw's American Rescue Plan Act funds. The money was to be used to help Saginaw's youth get jobs. World Outreach Campus pastor Hurley Coleman Jr. was appointed as fiduciary for the entity.
Things start, they're going very well. They're helping these kids get jobs. They're paying them well.
But this civil lawsuit claims an audit in August of 2024 of the $500,000 exposed problems, that some of the money wasn't going to ARPA eligible uses, and that about $193,000 couldn't be accounted for. The city of Saginaw clawed back the remaining $1.5 million or so approved for YEARN.
And they got the rug pulled out from under them, and 50 kids left unemployed, and YEARN left in the dark about how these funds were managed.
YEARN is now suing World Outreach Campus of Greater Coleman Temple Ministries. The claims of the 4-count lawsuit include embezzlement and fraud. Amia Jackson is with the Mastromarco law firm.
World Outreach Campus, being named fiduciary, deposited these funds into their own account, their own church bank account, commingling the funds.
Jackson and Trey Mastromarco hope to find out where the money went as the lawsuit works its way through court.
What's done in the dark comes to the light. That's not just scripture, that's discovery.
And just how much money is truly missing?
Well, even Judas only got 30 pieces of silver. We're talking about a lot more here.
Now, the lawsuit states that YEARN is seeking more than $500,000. I left messages for Pastor Hurley Coleman Jr., but I did not hear back.
And they probably won't hear back. So, I'm glad to see people are being held accountable in all seriousness. Flint received $94.7 million in ARPA funds. And if you've been watching our city council meetings, we are scrambling to find out where it went, where it's at, who received it. We also had a program for the youth that was paid, went to several organizations. We did. And one of them was a campaign manager for the Neelys. And now as things are shaken up, people are not all talking to each other. That 5 is not there anymore. They're talking up and saying, hey, that money didn't go where it was supposed to go either, which was for the ARPA for the youth. And when those 5 change, people start talking. They're talking. And I know people are like, oh, well, they're not, they're not getting along for real. They're not. And only time will tell unless someone gets paid off on the other side. I think there was a quid pro quo. What you do for me, you got nothing for me. I ain't got nothing for you. I think that was said. That's exactly what was said. The church had its own general fund too, huh? Yeah, I knew one they did. So If you have watched yesterday's meeting, honestly, I remember leaning back in my chair like, so looking down from Councilman Jarrett, I think he was confused. It was not adding up. 1 + 1 did not equal 2. Dennis was adding 2 + 2 that did not equal 4. Um, Candace was questioning in addition and she stayed on the fact that we did a whole resolution and voted. They did. I didn't vote on it. They voted on that. The 5 of them. I did not. And I remember putting up and talking about it. And they were upset. Oh, she's talking about the 40 million. Yeah, because it goes to the general fund. And what happens when it goes to the general fund? It goes away. And where's it going? Away. So she was like, no, we did a resolution and it states in the resolution and as legislators, and we're going to get into that because they started talking about where's the money. And Judy's like, I heard some chatter that the money's not being spent. Why Judy got to be the crypt keeper of all the secrets, who has actually been given a mission to come after me? And it's really almost ironic. Every meeting she has something to say to me. Like, no, you can't have the mic. Before I give you the mic, you're going to follow my rules. If you don't go somewhere, Judy Priestley, because I'm not having it. I'm not. And so we're gonna start with let's start with our short. Thank you, John. Look, and click like, share, and subscribe because I cannot do this without Jonathan. We got a lot to catch up over, y'all. So look, do his Cash App. It is Eaton Media LLC, J. Eaton Media, because I cannot do this without him. And y'all, we're going to have to do some hour shows a day because it is some stuff we got to talk about. We've got to talk about because you have the right to know. So hit that Cash App, $ J. Eaton Media, JEATONMEDIA, J. Eaton Media. Don't forget to put that $ first. So hit that Cash App for him because I can't do this without him. And it is a lot of work. Literally, I have to take this into segments. And it's like, soon as I think I catch a breath, it's not catching one because I'm immersed in a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff that is going on. There is a lot going on. A lot, a lot, a lot. So hit that Cash App for Jonathan. So $ J Eaton Media on Cash App because I appreciate him. I appreciate y'all, and also click on his shorts too. But I also want and leave that up. I want to say to 810 Flint, 810 Flint Xavier pumps out those video clips so quick with accuracy. So y'all look, show him some love over there because he is on it. He is on it at 810 Flint. He is on it. He is on it, getting them out, getting it taken care of. I'm like, man. So look, show him some love on 810 Flint, but also show Jonathan $ J Eaton Media because he gets them out so quick. And the content, I'm like, how you get that out so quick? Because he got some videos over there where they done got 50, 60, 70,000 likes. And he's just clipping what the truth is happening as it unplays in our council chambers. So when you don't have those 5 votes, people have to start answering questions. And when they can't answer questions, guess what they do? They try to act like they don't know what's going on and run the clock out. We know the game. And Judy Priestley is helping them. Council member Judy Priestley is helping them. Someone has sent her on a dummy mission to come after me, but I'm up for it. I have no problem with it at all because what she won't do is be disrespectful. I mean, at all. And she keeps doing this. So I'm going to come after. Okay, Judy, keep doing it because I'm going to keep checking you because you are protecting them. That's not your job. With executive branch and a legislative branch. And she's got well, I knew about the people. I knew about money being spent, but I didn't tell anyone. But what is it? How did you hear about it? It's chatter. Well, how much the chatter amount that you have? Well, I don't know. Do you have a no? People are watching. People are watching. Dr. Producer, I didn't call you back last night. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now this is producer Jay. He knows Xavier is to go. He is. Producer Jay produced my show. Look, because he gonna probably be coming in to do some things. We got a lot going on. We got a lot going on. So he gonna be doing some things too. Producer Jay, I remember showed up at my house one morning. Told me something. I thought it was literally microphones coming for the show, and it was not microphones. It was 8 o'clock in the morning, and he lives in Georgia near Atlanta. And it was him. And he was like, man, Tanya Burns, they need to quit saying you don't live there. And look, you did look kind of bad. You opened up your door. I'm like, it is 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. Okay. And I thought I was picking up an Amazon package off the porch. And he just wanted to wave and say his surprise was he was here. He came for the peaceful protest where Ms. Walford was arrested, where Beverly Biggs' husband, Terrence Levy, was thrown out his car and on the ground. And hey, Bev, if you on here, what's up, Beverly Biggs, who's running for the 3rd Ward? She is running for the 3rd Ward. And I am supporting her. Let me say that. Berta Bigman, really start keeping your burning lid on the stove for Judy, oh Lord. So, but producer Jay showed up, and I was like, I thought it was something else, but he just waved, and then he was here to record the stuff that happened, the brawl. Unfortunately, we had this a sad day where Arthur Woodson was dragging about 4 people on him, and it's just I think the residents had gotten fed up. And so he was here downtown to see Beverly Biggs' husband thrown on the ground on the bricks. I want you to know this. Her husband has not been the same. He has not been the same physically and mentally since June 2nd, 2025. He has not been the same physically or mentally. It was a peaceful protest. There was no traffic on a Sunday afternoon in the city of Flint. There ain't no traffic on a Monday at noon in the city of Flint. We don't have traffic downtown Flint. We do not. So that to me was mishandled. So I do want to say this. We're gonna move on. So I want to say, producer, I'm glad that you're on here. Let's go on to the let's play this video short, because ARPA funds, y'all, literally we were all like linked to the side in our seat, like, huh? At the same time, when I looked down, that was Candace was linked to the side, Dennis and Jonathan, because it was like, what are they doing? They gave numbers 2 million, 6 million, was it 4 million? It was 19 million, it was 26 million. It started out at 40 million, it was 14.85, and it was 15. The numbers were everywhere. It was 12 million. So let me start. No, let's play the video. Then I'll give an explanation of the 287 fund and the 101.
What
Please
legal
donate to
opinion you
JE.
requested?
Thank you.
I had asked the legal opinion about between.
Help me understand what legal opinion you requested.
I had asked the legal opinion about between the general fund and the ARPA, as well as our request that all expenditures come to us so that we spend according to the plan, because I don't believe that that's happening. So I've asked for a legal opinion to clarify that, and because there has not been a legal opinion, there's been opinions from other sources, what I found out today, but not from the legal department.
So then you didn't, I'm sorry, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So we are waiting for that.
So then you didn't ask for a legal opinion on our resolution, whether or not our resolution was legal and they had to bring anything before us. That was not the opinion you asked for.
I asked for, do they have to bring it to us?
So, and I need you to give me some clarity as to why you would think a resolution passed by the legislative body of this city.
Because we know that items are being spent without us coming to us. What's your request?
How do you know that, or what items are you saying that didn't come before us?
I've just heard chatter.
Okay. So Jonathan, I couldn't hear the video. And that was the first one that I haven't been able to hear. So I don't know if it's something that I'm doing. Look, do me a favor, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button if you can hear me talking. Because maybe I did some. Who knows? Can you hit the like button on either side? Hey, Kevin Tay. I see you on here. I don't see any like buttons. I don't think they can hear me. Okay. Okay. Good. Because I couldn't hear the video. Couldn't hear it at all. Okay. So look, we're going to keep going. So here's the thing. So there's the 101 fund, and you're hearing the 287 fund. So the 287 fund is the special account that was established when ARPA came in. So can we put up and keep up the ARPA, what you think, the ARPA resolution? So the 287 fund, when it came in, all of the money, it went into that fund. When they decided, the five of them decided, was it six then, to put that money into the general fund, that means they took that money, put it to the general fund, which means they have to abide by how do we spend general funds according to the state of Michigan and in our city charter. It's not ARPA anymore. It's general funds. And so now you hear Judy saying, oh, you can, she got a little testy with him. And Candace is giving her some pushback. Like, you mean to tell me, can we put the resolution up, Jonathan, please? And we can leave that up like as I'm talking, please. So she's giving her pushback, and we're all just waiting, trying to see how many times is this story going to change? How many times is it going to change? And it changed a lot. So here it is. It says at the bottom, it was $40,567,919.85, which was voted to go into general funds. And I was adamantly against this because if we need ARPA funds, because we were in a global pandemic, then we needed them immediately. So it says it is further resolved that $40,567,919.85 is transferred from 287. That's 287 account. Because I want you to know, what is the 287? What is in the 287? That's the number 287 account. To account number 101. 101 is general funds. It says for revenue replacement in the general fund. So it went to the general fund. Then it says it is further resolved that the city council will use the funds with approval. Oh, I'm sorry, not city council. It says it is further resolved that the city will use the funds with approval of city council for the following specific programs: neighborhood improvements, economic development, public safety, public health, infrastructure administration, revenue replacement, and contingency. Okay, y'all. That's not what's happening anymore. It's not. So we now know all this meant nothing, which Judy says, I asked for a legal opinion. Okay, you asked for a legal opinion on a legal document. They voted for five of them. So basically that vote was just symbolic smoke and mirrors. Because according to Judy Priestley, Councilmember Priestley, they've been spending the money and people have been telling her. But she doesn't tell her colleagues because she's the crypt keeper. And she protects and keeps this nonsense going. It's not her job to keep this as a secret. Everything's a secret. Well, I knew. Okay, what about the fire escrow fund? Well, I had it a year ago, and I did. Oh no. Well, let's move on. No, we're not moving on to nothing because there was some millions of dollars in the fire escrow fund. Where is that money going to, and who's spending that money, and who are the contractors knocking down these homes? Who are they? So they always got some little catch because they before call for the question, call for the question, call for the question, call for the question. It was always call for the question on your money. It's your money, Flint residents' money. Call for the question because it didn't matter about accountability. It was because they had controls. They abused their position and they abused their power every single meeting and every single day for almost 3 years. Now they got 40 million reasons why they want to act like they get along with the ones who were saying, no, this isn't right. Councilman Jared, no, this wasn't right. Dennis Pfeiffer, Councilman Pfeiffer, no, this isn't right. Councilwoman Murphy Carter, no, this isn't right. myself, the four of us stood for the residents on what was right. Now they got a $40 million debacle that they giving legal opinions. Well, guess what? We paid for a compliance firm. Why would the compliance firm agree that we could pass a resolution, that they voted on, the five of them voted on, to have it go to the general fund, knowing it meant nothing and it was to be ARPA and spent? I'm like, y'all can't do both. Well, it's ARPA funds. No, it's not. Because what is Judy saying? Well, it's not ARPA. Now she's trying to clean it up. Judy is a liar and she likes to lie. And I'm going to stand on that because she lie about anything. She even sent a text message to someone. Yeah, Judy, if you watching, I could care less, because what you won't do is when I'm telling the residents and the community the truth, is I'm going to check you every time. She actually sent a text message that I was supporting Kane. I never met Kane. How would she know that I'm supporting? I never met him. Never met him. I just lying. You should know that Tanya support. No, don't speak for me. You will be the last person to speak for me. So, Denise, because I heard 36 minutes was still sitting, but allocated. Why is allocated out on jobs not coming to the fruition? Okay, so it's not just, that's something totally, Denise. That's we got to appeal this one back, and that's what I said. We're gonna do several shows. So we know that 287 fund, and the 101, they put 40 million in there. So then we get into, we're going to play the videos. We're going to let them speak for themselves. And Jonathan, I don't know if it was my sound. I don't know, but I could not hear the sound for some reason. I don't know what that was. But we're going to peel this back. So we now know that they have to abide by, and there's two separate funds. And Mr. Moore's numbers were different. But my question is, why was Mr. Moore even answering questions on a presentation he did not create? That wasn't his. I mean, it wasn't his presentation. And we were all befuddled. Honestly, we were befuddled. And then let's not forget, when they gave the presentation, they didn't want to finish it. They didn't want to ask questions. And Chit Linsman, who Dr. Weaver, Mayor Weaver employed him, hired him, was the rude person. He's always rude to me, because Mayor Neely sends up his puppets to, you go after her, you can say what you want to say. But really to her, no, but I will clap back at you. You will not talk to me crazy and disrespectful. You won't do that. It's a difference when you don't know the answer. And it's another difference when you're trying to run the clock down and talk crazy to people. We know the difference. We know that according to Judy Priestley, there's chatter. We know they've spent. Judy, how much are they spending that they weren't supposed to spend? And why is she not telling the council? She's beholden to the city council, not the mayor. But she likes those little trips down to the mayor's office where there is a, he told me it was a honeypot. Flint is a honeypot. Okay. She should have been telling the council members. And still, even last night, she would not refuse to tell us how much or any of the dollars which were misspent. She did not say anything because she wants to be the crypt keeper. She wants to be. But Judy, people are asking, how you pay cash for that kitchen when you just borrowed $600 right before from Trevor? Explain that. And then you go pay cash for a kitchen, because Attorney Kim was telling everybody. She's telling everybody she paid cash for a kitchen because he told me. So when we have, and I feel bad for Christian, the one who was, because when he did the budget, he was trying to be honest and, answer. Shay is not. And we're not going to talk to me. You got the right one, Shay. I'm not going to play with you. That I'm not. Okay. And then you had Ed. Ed didn't really say anything. Ed Taylor. But when we talk about these funds and we're asking them questions, we have a right to ask. But when you ask them, they never know nothing. Well, I don't know. I don't have the answer right here. I don't have the answer right in front of me. I'm going to have to take a look. I don't know. Let me check into that. Well, you came for a presentation, and with the presentation comes questions. So then what did they decide to do? At the very end, I'm going to take my Langston Hughes book. I love poetry. They had their little laptops open. What they decided to, we leaving. Oh, you taking your answers that you did not have. We didn't expect you to have any answers. We did not. Because you never do. Because when you had those 5 votes and you had Judy doing call for the question, you had Liddell at the time doing call for the question, Candace, you were doing call for the question because you did call for the question on September 23rd when we were asked about the administrative consent order. And it was called for the question. We ain't forgotten. This is still the business. Now, you may be handling now, but back then, baby, you were not right. You were not right. And same thing with Liddell. So what did they do? Because they want to know about the 40 million. They had their little laptops. Look, I love Langston Hughes, y'all, just so y'all know. They had their little laptops. It's, we leaving. And they left. They left. They left. So what does that show? That's your money. That's the people's money. That they are not to be held accountable to anybody, not even to city council, not even to the residents, not to anyone in this community, because they feel that that money is their money. They can do as they please, spend as they please. And who's going to check them? City council can't check me. Who else gonna check me? Well, let's say who can check you. Department of Treasury said you're not spending that money correctly. And as I read off the Department of Treasury, they got mad because they messed up with the guidelines. Now, if that money was supposed to be, let's go back to that resolution, the full resolution. That 40 million was supposed to go into the general fund, and it's supposed to still be ARPA, but now it's general funds. So how it's spent is different. Judy saying we can spend that money any way we want to, but down here it states you can only use it for specific programs, neighborhood improvements, economic development, public safety, public health, and that's homeless. We should be doing something for the homeless. They talking about sending back $6 million. We got a homeless community, people dying in fires because they need shelter. Infrastructure, our roads, all the roads are bad. We need to have our people in Lansing and DC and Washington. We need new roads. Administration, revenue replacement, contingency. So this money can only be spent on these specific items. Anything out of that $40,567,919.85 can only be used on those items. And it was voted on by the 5 of them. So now they're telling them your vote doesn't matter. We suckered y'all. We suckered y'all 5 to move that money into the general fund. We suckered y'all and y'all fell for it. So the 5 of them got suckered into a symbolic resolution that now they have told them, and Judy is saying, we can spend that money any way that we want to. It's general funds. Okay? Because we're going to get into it. Y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button. Because we were all, we going over numbers. I think all of us can add and subtract. And I think they thought we had short memories. But that resolution that they passed in December, I think it went effective January. Matter of fact, they passed it when they put Mays out for 90 days. Okay. That's what they did. So the 5 of them who voted on this symbolic sucker resolution, because that's what it was, because it means nothing. They're stating, I'm getting a legal opinion. Well, they suckered y'all. They suckered y'all and told y'all to vote for that, and y'all did it and shouldn't have voted for it in the first place. Now, but y'all was so smart because you want to run down there with the honey pot, and they ran down there with the honey pot. And what did y'all get? Not jack anything in the pot for those ARPA funds in the 287. They said we can use that as general funds any way we want to. They suckered them. Don't be mad now. Y'all got that was a pretty expensive $40 million sucker symbolic resolution. I want to thank to my colleagues who didn't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Thank you, Councilman Jared. Thank you, Councilman Fifer. Thank you, Councilwoman Murphy Carter, JWC. Because they got played. Mike Clack said, I said that the mayor was going to start pointing out that the council members voted and approved. His hands are going to be clean while they get played. Absolutely. Because you know what happens when there's discrepancies in our report or in our reporting. I can't believe it. It leads me to believe, why would Ernst & Young, the compliance company, remember they wouldn't bring them up. Mays was showing out on bring them up here, and they was trying to act like, Mays was wrong for asking, thinking, look, clack for state rep. Let's just say that, because we need somebody to ask, because we need to get the damn roads fixed for real, okay? Mike Clack for state rep, because anytime you miss, and I'm deviating for just a minute before I get back to that 40 million, because anytime that we don't have anybody, miss 141 days, we don't have anybody advocate, you can't get nothing for the residents if you're not there. So as that money comes down from DC to the state, to the Congress, to the Senate, to the state rep, to the mayor, to the county, and then to the city, to the mayor, if we don't have anybody who knows what to do with the money and knows what the people want and need, it don't make any difference. You miss 141 days, your score is a D. Now I like her. Look, she did me the best hair weave when my hair fell out from endometriosis and I was sick. But this is not her lane. And sometimes you can't be selfish. You have to let it go when it's not what you know how to do. It is a selfish thing to hold on to something that you know you don't have the skill set to do. It is selfish because our entire community has suffered. And you hold on to a position that your heart ain't been in it, your attendance ain't in it, and it's not personal. It is the reality. You will not see me dropping a transmission in a 18-wheeler semi truck. Why? That's not my skill set. I won't do that. You will not see, if my attendance was that bad, they tried to tell me about my attendance, y'all put me out for 30 days, okay? But I showed up to speak at the podium. I wasn't missing those times. You didn't make me, so therefore you can't break me. Vote Mike Clack state rep. That's what you do. We need representation. And it's time we stop voting for our friends just because I like them, I know them, or don't vote for nobody because they nice. Don't do that. Because there's some moments you can't be nice. It's the moments you can't be nice because it's the business. It's the moments you got to go in there with them legislators and say, hey, don't nobody in Michigan get nothing to Flint get theirs. And you got to be behind them doors, making sure you're fighting for Flint. But you can't fight for Flint if you're not showing up for Flint. We don't have people who show up for Flint. And when you do, you become the problem. And I'm Mayor Neely around here telling people, I have a demon in me. He going to hell. He going to hell. All them crosses on, pointing to him. So I have a demon in me. Oh, I don't live where I live. Everybody's been to my house. And I do want to say everybody while I was sick who brought me food, who made sure I was okay. Thank y'all. Because your girl couldn't get out and do nothing. So when we look at what he does, Mayor Neely has managed to divide the city by North Side, South Side, East Side, by Black, white, and Hispanic, Latino. He's divided the Latinos too. He has divided the city. He's divided the churches. We don't even have the church anymore. And people say, well, no, separate church and state. Well, our church members are also a part of it. We need the ones who care about the city to come and be with us and walk with us to make sure that we come together. He's divided the clergy, divided the church. He's divided the sides of town. He's divided the council members. The worst division he did was the council members. And with that $40 million symbolic sucker resolution that they voted on. They voted on it. I did not. And thank you to the other three who didn't. Y'all are awesome. So we're going to get into, because I'm going to tell you something. This is Department of Treasury money. And people who have left the city who said, hey, we're not being a part of it. They want change. They want leadership that's going to lead to bring this community together. They want transparency. And they tired of being called down to the mayor's office and yelled at, disrespected, degraded, in a condescending, disrespectful tone and conversation. We invited him to come up and he declined nicely. Didn't come up. I asked him, it was on record. Madam Clerk, could you make sure that Mayor Neely gets the invitation? We have some questions. And people are like, oh, well, you should not have asked them nicely. No, there's a process and there's a protocol and there's etiquette. There is. So we did that process. He didn't come, which we knew. Then we put it on the floor for subpoena yesterday and gonna keep putting it on. Gonna keep putting it on. And so he has a response. His staff doesn't want to answer, so he can come answer. Let's see how serious they are about that 40 million. They ought to be embarrassed. And I'm gonna tell you, if I voted for that, I would expect for my residents to be angry at me. Why? Because they didn't read and do their homework. They didn't read and do their homework. They got the $40 million sucker symbolic resolution. And how much good could we have really done if we really figured out what the people want? It's not what the people want. We don't know. And I'm all for senior centers, but we already had a senior center that we paid $0 for. Then he's opened up the Mays Center, and then we're looking at how much he's doing with Haskell. Go back and watch yesterday's meeting. Break it up. It's 5 hours and 10 minutes. You need to watch it. Go back and watch it. And I don't know if he sent that lady. I was at the taco house with her and Miss Jenkins. Look, she needs to talk to me. I'm okay with it. I expect for them to keep sending people after me, like Judy. I have no problem because I can handle mine. I'm still going to do what I need to do for the people because I ran for the people. But y'all go back and watch that. It was some answers. And Candace wants to know now. We passed that resolution. You do not get to spend that any way you want to in the general funds. It states in the resolution how it is to be spent. And she kept emphasizing and emphasizing and emphasizing. And Judy kept being dismissive. Like, that's just the way it is. Candace is not going to accept that. Y'all know how Candace could be. How many people she threw out? Hell, she was throwing me out when thought, they can't control you, they throw you out. Yeah. So Candace is going to be on her. She want to know. She want to, and count what? First of all, and I want to say this, because we're going to get on to the videos. Councilman Jared, which is always quiet, has been a lifesaver to me. Even when that one little video about Judy wanted to tell me how I could speak on the microphone. I appreciate him because I'm tired of her mess. Because I come prepared to do the business for the people. Don't try to hinder me when this is my job. I've seen so much money come into the city. And it never reaches you. It never reaches you. Millions and millions and millions. And it literally has almost been $1 billion. And it never reaches you. It never reaches you. I had a conversation with someone today. Said, oh, well, it wasn't for fixing the roofs. I said, no, sir, you're incorrect. It was. ARPA money was for that and program. They had been doing the lead program wrong. And I couldn't even, by the time Dennis went up one side and down the other, and he was pretty nice, I was just like, tighten up your program. Because you do have complaints. Sue me. That's whatever. I'm so overdone. But let me tell you what you have to do. Each department has to be redone. But that $40 billion sucker symbolic resolution. Okay. So we're going to go on to, look, y'all hit that like button. And look, donate is down at the cross sign. Because we're going to go into the video. Look, donate to $ J. Eaton Media. Because we couldn't go through this without him. Because I like for everyone to be educated so that they know. I want everyone to be educated so they know what is going on. And I'm going to tell you, because people will speak on you, people will lie on you. And let me tell you this, Tanya Burns ain't never took a dime for nobody, not a dime. I have had people lie on me. I have not. I don't have no nonprofit. I have not. But I've showed up since I was elected was do the work for the people. That has not changed. But that sucker punch or the sucker resolution, I told y'all back in December, and we talked about it. Matter of fact, back then, I think I was with Mickey Jordan and over at A1 News Media. I think Mickey Jordan got tired of putting it up. But Mickey, I don't know if you watch it. I know you was learning a lot because we would be in there, be like, let her cook. Because we went over everything. when I do things for a reason. I try to do them in order and methodically. And it's not going to be at the pace that people want me to, because there's legal ramifications. There are things that I've got to do, and I have to do them in order for a reason. I have to. And I'm not for everybody. Everybody not going to like me. And I am okay with that. Because what I am for is the truth. What I do is live off my little meager $25,000 a year, because Lord have mercy, this takes up my entire life. I did not know the city of Flint has so many issues, and they're fixable. They are fixable with the right leadership. But vote for Michael Clack. Vote for Michael Clack, because if you miss 141 days, it's not personal. And that's not the only time. I think she missed 200 something days another time. We have to have representation. And when you ride over those roads, you need representation. When you didn't get your indoor plumbing, and we didn't get that 35 million was set aside for the city of Flint to get indoor plumbing. I believe it was 35 million. And when I asked, it was during one of the council meetings. I don't know if somebody could find that. And they said, well, I asked Clyde Edward, the city administrator. I said, well, what happened? He said, we didn't have anyone who knew how to fill out the paperwork. But they done fired Faith, and Faith is suing the city of Flint. She is suing them. But they fired her. So Michael Clack for state rep. We need to have people who can work together, people who, when they get the money, people who know what is going on. There are issues. Clack, you're going to own me for this one now. I didn't endorse you. I'm going to be like 810 News Media Group. We don't say your name unless you making a payment. But I'm just joking. I got you. 141 days is inexcusable. And that is not the most days that was missed. When you stay in a job, you can't do, and I'm going to get off of this. You stay in a job you can't do, and people in your community are suffering. It's not the job for you. It's not out of anger. And she is a nice person. This is just not the job for her. When I called her about the lady that lived on Concord Street, Tammy, with the drive-by shooting, and Tammy went to her house, she called me and said, you came to my house and brought Tammy. No, I did not. I called Tammy on the line. Tammy said, I said, Tammy, I have State Rep Cynthia Neely on the line. Can you tell her how you got her number? She says, ma'am, I Googled you. Ma'am, I came to your house because your husband is the mayor. Ma'am, and she wasn't disrespectful. I am scared. I don't want my family killed. Someone shot up my home. When you go someone call you for help, what you don't do is say, I'm going to call the police on you. That's not what you do. This is not what you do. I don't think she knew how to handle that. You have to go with, okay, how can I help you? How can I serve you? But thank you, B. Marie. Let's talk about that $25 million Phantom Group. That $25 million Phantom Group, guess who the fiduciary was for it? I was told the city of Flint. So they had nothing it was a Phantom Group. It hadn't existed. There was nothing you could find anywhere. $25 million Phantom Group. But you get tired. When do the people win? When do you win? When do you win? Don't let people tell you, do your own homework. Look, get the book and read it. Okay? And if you can't read it, get an audio book. Start reading the news. Pay attention. And don't just listen to the certain news station. Listen to the podcast, the people who are, because that's where you get your raw news. I don't listen to just the news. I even listen to Fox. I listen to MSNBC. I listen to CNN. I do the local news. I do the Young Turks. I do the Hill. I do a lot of different news sources. And then I listen to podcasts. I listen to Joy Reid. I listen to Love Don Lemon. I listen to, oh gosh, what is his name? Because he was he's on CNN, white guy. I listen to different ones because I want to make sure that I can make an educated decision. You're not going to like one person 100%, but you better make sure they check the boxes for your most needs. I met with Congresswoman Haley Stevens a couple of times, and I had Dr. Abdul El Saeed, and I'm not endorsing anyone in that aspect. And they have Mallory McMorrow, but I can tell you this: all three of them are good candidates. All three are good candidates. I remember walking into the room when I first met Congresswoman Haley Stevens, and I was on the phone with my dad, and my dad is something else for those who have met him. I'm like, okay, Daddy, I'm getting ready to walk in the room. He's like, go on, get off the phone with me. No, we talking. I said, all right, Dad, love you. And so I'm telling my dad this, and I'm walking in the door, and she's like, she says, "Is that your dad on the phone?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, this is my dad right here." She's like, "We're girl dads. We're girl dads." And so you make certain bonds, but Congresswoman McMurrow is a great person. You know, I'm listening to everybody, and seeing, and go to these listening sessions, these meet and greets, and see. But I'm gonna tell you something. When you talk about people who have never, if they haven't shown up to city council and want to run for city council and they've never showed up, they need to be there. If they have never, city council, even for mayor, you need to be there to see. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and you got to, because you don't know how to. It's not a learn as you go job. Not with Flint. It's not. It's not. And I want to say thank you to all the former people who used to work at the city of Flint, who still have trust in me and who keep me abreast of everything. Look, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. When you build bonds with good people with good talent, thank all of y'all. So let's go on to, but I wanted to share the 287 and the 101 fund. So Jonathan, let's start with the video of Flint City Council at 108. The end up with, look, when they just jumped up and closed that, their laptops and got down. It was like, we're done. They got down. It's like, oh, that's what y'all do with the people, 40 million? Everybody in that seat should have been angry. I mean, council members should have been climbing over. They see that, I get back here. 40 million reasons why they felt they didn't have to answer. So when you're ready, Jonathan, get that queued up. Thank you.
Every ward as well, upgrading fire department equipment. This is where that section came. And then we had your strategic investment in ward priorities. So that was doled out by you all. We have cold case here. So this is another, would be public safety, but it got placed in this section. This is to help clear out some cold case items. And then there's a big section here of removal of city-owned trees, which helps every ward. And then I did combine the last three sections here because they were rather small. There is one thing on contingency, it's for future reserves. So the split between 101 and 287 here. And then the pre-allocation plan for premium pay is there. And that was done to help people work through COVID through the city of Flint. And then the administration section, which was which does your E&Y and some other items to pay for a few city employees that help work on ARPA and a few other things. And again, broken down between 101, 287. And I mean, this is just my one example from these three sections. Just the premium pay helped us keep people working through COVID. And that is it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Shay. Can we see the timer? Yeah, can you put the timer on? How many minutes? Okay, is there any questions? Pardon? Couldn't hear you. Are there any questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Okay,
Ms.
thank you.
Burns.
So I have several questions. In 15 minutes, I'm gonna try to save some time because, and thank you for preparing this. So the witness protection program, how much was spent on that? And did we protect any witnesses?
Yeah, we had 300,000 from ARPA, and there was 100,000 from another grant. I don't want to misrepresent, but there was another grant. They had to spend that first because it expired first. So they are currently charging us now. They are definitely doing that.
Who is us? Are we talking about, you said who is currently charging us?
It would be, off the top of my head, I believe it's Genesee County prosecutors.
Okay, so how much have we spent?
I'm working on it.
Excuse me, you are disrupting this meeting. Please keep it down in the back. Thank you.
Oh, there we go. All right, so witness protection, So we did pay them up front, but they are reimbursing, or they are showing us their invoicing as they go. So that whole thing has been, it was upfronted to them.
So they're drawing it down.
Yeah, through their invoice, well, showing us what their invoicing was monthly, and that goes to our accountants and finance, yeah.
So how much have they drawn down so far?
Off the top of my head, I do not have that. It's about 100. I estimated it's around 100,000 from this.
Can you get a copy, or can you let us know how much that is? Because then that goes along to, I'll slide over to cold cases. So do we know how many cold cases that we have? And how many have been solved, and how many officers are working on cold cases?
That is a police question, ma'am.
Will we have anybody here from the police? I mean, this is,
I
yeah.
don't believe we do.
Yeah, okay, it's because this is an ARPA question. And so I think this was about a month ago. And we have limited time to, and these are very real questions, because we know that when these people are left out here, they offend again. They do. And so that is a question that we need to have answered. Also, so all the funds now are into general fund, and it's just being tracked. So we don't have technically ARPA funds. That 40 million was placed into general fund as revenue replacement.
That 40 million, yes. We do still have ARPA funds because we have to spend whatever that last bit down by the end of this year. And we are actively working with those organizations to make sure we're getting that spent down.
What's the last bit to work down?
As of the fourth quarter reporting, it's approximately 6 million. I'm going to get there. So the difference here, it's the same one. It's the same number. 6.5, about 6.5 million from 12/31/2025.
And how much has been allocated? Is that in, how much has been allocated and not spent of the 40 million?
We allocated 26 and we've spent 12.5. So
Okay, so we allocated 26, we spent 12.5.
Yeah.
And so what are organizations are outstanding that this is or projects to be paid to?
That is not something I can answer at the.
You can't answer.
I can't answer that standing right here.
Okay, can you get that to us? Because we've asked for that before, please. Because and they've come in, any and all, which organizations were allocated to, which ones we have already expended or paid for. Now, my other question is too, we have the May Center here because we need to be transparent. We did ask for a breakdown of what their budget is, and a portion of their budget was for ARPA. ARPA cannot, according to the resolution as it is sent, I believe it was set for 2 directors at 85,000. Well, we only have one at the Mason. The other one I believe was going to be at the McKinley Center. Is that correct? And those were with ARPA funds. Am I correct? They're not, but it's a community center.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm not a program manager. I work on the budgets.
Okay, then who can answer this question? Because they get ARPA, that's out of ARPA though. Because there's ARPA funds that are coming out of that. And so who can answer the ARPA? And that was the reason why we did put this off, so that we could have questions answered that we've been asking since ARPA was basically in existence. So can anybody answer the budget? Because we're paying for ARPA funds out to fund the center. And we know that the 54,000 from the county, the Genesee County millage, is not enough to pay for salaries, fringe benefits, and programming. That's just not enough. And so we need to make sure, because we know that it would be against public policy for ARPA funds to pay for staffs to run the senior center based on the prohibition of federal funds being used to supplement what should be paid for with general funds as a standard city cost of operating. The posted ARPA resolution that we do have, which is currently one that we've been discussing, only funded temporary administrative positions, which were meant to ensure proper and timely expenditure of ARPA funds, plus covered time and some existing staff that would be crucial to proper timely expenditure for ARPA funds. The community liaison was purposely not a director. It was a temporary lower paid position meant to ensure all ARPA funds allocated and community investment centers actually got spent. So we need to make sure we're doing things. That's going to be a red flag because that was not done properly. Now,
So I believe the monies you're talking about is 101 funds. After that was transferred, it's now general fund. So we're spending, they're not ARPA, they're not beholden to federal guidelines for ARPA
so
anymore.
On our resolution, it states ARPA, and here's the game that's been being played. It's ARPA, it's not ARPA, it's general funds, but it is ARPA.
I apologize for this being confusing, but it has been confusing from the beginning, and there are many stages that this has went through, from pre-allocation to allocation to move to general fund.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm just trying to explain to you that, like, we're above board here. We're doing everything the proper way.
I'm telling you what
and I'm just telling you that.
No, you're not gonna tell me.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just using the same words you use at me. I'm telling you that 101 has different.
Excuse me, both of you.
I need you to.
Okay,
I'm asking
so
you a question.
I'm asking both of you to be to order, and I understand the tensions are a little high right now on this question. The fact is that anything that was sent to general funds no longer follows the ARPA rules and guidelines as set forth by the Department of Treasury. Go ahead.
Thank you. And thank you, sir. So Shay, you were rude. And so I'm saying,
So are you.
no, I'm not talking to you. And so you need to get your attitude together, because I'm saying to you, for the Department of Treasury.
Thank you for your time. We've done our
I'm saying
presentation.
for the Department of Treasury. See, this is y'all do this all the time. You don't have the answers. And the Department of Treasury, you don't have to give us the answers, because we can contact the DOJ.
Ms. Burns,
and
you are
FBI
out of
to
order.
get the answers.
Ms. Burns, you are out of order,
Yeah,
please.
you keep protecting them.
I am.
Councilwoman Lewis been asking since February 4th and 8th for the same answers. You are allowing them to not answer.
I am going to close this special order out, the special presentation, and
I object to.
okay, there's an objection to closing out the special presentation. So we'll need to take that to a vote. Do we need a motion to take this to a vote, Mr. Attorney? City Attorney?
How much time is left?
6 minutes is left. There's an objection to me closing out this special order. Do we need a motion in order to vote? Okay.
Go off.
Madam Chair. So through you to Mr. Moore, Madam Chair.
Mr. Moore?
And then he's gonna try to double talk and got caught up in his own talk. How you gonna get mad?
Mr. Moore, are you familiar with the presentation that we just received? Somewhat.
Yes.
So we have like it says, if you can see this, because we don't have the presentation anymore, funding, and then it says obligations.
Yes,
So is obligations the same as allocation?
correct.
So on the general fund slide, it shows that we still have 13 million that are unobligated. Is that correct?
That's what's obligated to revenue replacement.
So,
But it's still there and it still could be spent if.
but I thought that we only had 2 million left in the ARPA funds. So how do we have 13 million left?
It's because it's been allocated to.
Madam Chair, can you pause?
Yes. Mr. Taylor, you are encouraging disruption to this meeting, and I'm about ready to issue warnings. So if it's your fault, I'm going to ask you to please keep it down in the back so that we can continue to conduct business, because I will issue a warning the next time I have to stop. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. So do we have 13 million or 2 million?
It depends on how you classify it as allocated. The way it was classified under the ARPA rules, it was allocated as a revenue replacement.
Okay.
But if you're asking if has the money been spent, once it's moved to the general fund, it's still there and it still can be spent.
So we have 14 million. We don't have 2 million left.
You have the, yes, that's correct. They have the 12 million.
Yeah, 26 minus 12 gives you
The 12 million has not been spent.
I'm sorry?
If you're looking at this, I don't have a color graph like you do, right?
So we have 39 million that we've put in there, right? In the general, we have 39 million and we've allocated 26. So we have 13 and some change, correct?
Right.
Okay, because the last few meetings ago, they were saying we have 2 million left.
The 2 million, it would be the stuff that was in the contingency. It wasn't it doesn't include the revenue replacement dollars.
Okay. I'm still lost. I think that there's shenanigans going on how much money we have left. Is there a plan to reallocate or spend the money in the original ARPA? Because we're running down to the wire, and I know that we have lots of categories that we have remaining dollars that haven't been spent.
The money that has not been allocated is all in the general fund. There is no federal deadline to spend that.
I understand. I'm talking about the original ARPA dollars.
The original ARPA dollars, there's still dollars that need to be spent.
54 million.
Right. And the administration is working very hard to make sure that everybody that has a contract with us to spend it, spends it before the end of the year.
The previous gentleman before about the witness relocations, about we prepaid and then now they're showing us invoices, but that money has to be spent. It can't sit in their coffers, right?
You're right. That's correct.
So are we going, if they don't have a plan to spend that or the expenses to spend that, are they going to give it back to us with enough time to reallocate?
The contract, they would have to give it back to us, and that would have to be returned if it's not spent.
So are they going to give it back to us with enough time to reallocate it to try to spend it?
Trying to respend things are very difficult under the ARPA rules. You have to spend it for essentially the same type of service.
So we're going to be giving money back to the federal government?
I think witness protection, if the county doesn't use it, that would probably be sent back. I don't think we have any other contract with anybody that would meet the criteria for that.
Okay. So the cold case and the witness relocation will probably end up giving some money back.
If they don't spend it, we've been, like I said, we've been working with all the different agencies to make sure that they make spending the ARPA dollars a priority.
Okay. Madam Chair, I'm gonna make a motion to add 10 more minutes.
Support. There's a motion on the floor to add 10 more minutes to this discussion item. It's already been supported by the motion was made by the councilman in the 8th ward, supported by the councilwoman in the 6th ward. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Al-Alami.
Excuse me, Secretary.
Dr. Lewis is not in.
No, she's there.
She's
I'm
here.
here. And yes.
Sorry, Dr. Lewis. Ms. Johnson? Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat? Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Jared?
Yes.
8 yeses.
Okay, the vote is 8 yes, 0 no. Go ahead. 10 minutes. That was right, correct? So add 10 more minutes to that, so it'd be 15:53, is that right? No. Oh, no, we were out, sorry. Sorry, we were out of time. Duh. Okay. Go ahead. Is there anyone else?
Madam Chair.
Okay,
ahead.
let's cut it.
Thank you.
Oh, no,
through
let it
you
go
to
for
Mr.
Councilman
Moore.
Jarrett.
So Mr. Moore, with regard to the to the 54 million that was allocated and fall under the ARPA ruling.
Right.
And that has yet to be spent. Who in whatever department is actively working with those vendors to identify and get the monies spent down?
It's not just one person. There's a team of people that meet and work with. I know that before Seamus left, he was the #1 guy, and he would take the lead, and now Christian's taking the lead. But there's also other people in the department. Rod Slaughter, his team.
I understand you. So you're basically saying it's a team.
It is a team.
Okay.
Yes.
So this would be my request. And I understand that the gentleman who just spoke said that there are over 200, is it different vendors or line items?
We have 200 different contracts.
200 different contracts. Okay. This is what I am going to ask respectfully, however I need to ask it in whatever format it needs to legally go or whatever. But by that first meeting, the first finance meeting in May, understanding that we're in April and that there are funds that have not been spent. And if I just heard correctly, there's money we are in danger of having to give back to the government. I want to know by contract who hasn't spent what. And I want to know that in May. And how, Madam,
There will be another quarterly report out by then. We have to make another quarterly report to the federal government at the end of April.
So in other words, the timing is good to ask for it.
It is.
Thank you. So I can get that in that kind of detail to know by contract. I don't want to know just general categories. I want to know by contract who has not spent their money.
There's one page for each contract in that.
Okay. It can be sent electronically.
We send electronically. We also are posting it on our website. So
I don't want to have to fish for it. I apologize. I ain't even, I'm not, I'm going to take some privilege as a council person here and say, I'm not trying to fish for it. I want it in my inbox, please. Thank you. That'll be somewhat of a start for me. And I'm still.
Okay. So Councilman Jarrett, bravo. He says, look, I don't want to fish for it. I'm going to, and thank y'all for, if you are still on, I wanted you, because there was a lot that was said during that. And so we're going to cover this for a minute. Councilman Jarrett said, look, I don't want to fish for it. Don't give me something that's going to send me around a mulberry bush, an elm tree, an oak tree. I got to ride a pony, climb Mount Kilimanjaro, bicycle across France, get on a boat and go through Venice. I mean, no. And then just be stuck in the Straits of Hormuz because we got a war and you ain't going nowhere. He said, put it in my inbox. That's what used to be done. All this, let me do this. And I don't know if Mr. Moore is hard because he wants to just tell the truth, but he knows if he does, you get yelled at by the mayor. So one of the things that they kept saying was, look, I'm working on that. I don't have that. And these are their quotes. I can't answer that standing here right now. 101 is an ARPA, and it's not beholden to ARPA. You know, this is, we know that we're not confused. You all are trying to confuse us. We weren't confused. We want you to come up there and tell the truth. There's a difference. Depends on how you classify. That's the 101 and the 287. Revenue replacement. I'm gonna get into this. So revenue replacement, when it that's where the big chunk of money came from. That was the 29 million. I believe that's what it was that went into the general fund. Here's one of my questions. How are you going to replace revenue lost for a senior center that we did not have? We did not. Mayor Neely got rid of Hasselbrink over a political issue because the director did not put the person out when he was running for Congress. He was going to run for Congress. He did not put the person out. He got mad, raised the rent up to over $5,000 a month, and then evicted the seniors. City of Flint has not paid for any senior center since 2012. 2012 in emergency management. We have not spent the dime. Flint did not lose any revenue for senior centers. Zero revenue was lost to senior centers because we never paid for senior centers. It's played with the senior millage over at the county. Why? But what did he do? I'm going to start up and show you. I'm going to take over the senior center. I'm going to evict him because he acts like a tyrant. It's not his money. He misuses, he abuses people. And we have to get tired of allowing him abusing the residents. He closed that down, moved someone in, and now that budget, what is it? Oh, Jonathan, I sent you that too. I'm going to send it right back because how are we going to lose? How is he going to say we lost money when we did not have a senior center? We did not. We didn't have one. Did not have one. I'm going to send this to you. And so how are you going to replace it when we didn't have it? We didn't. And so we didn't pay anything to senior centers. We didn't have to. It was paid and budgeted out of the senior millage and of the grants that they applied for. Only thing they did was the building, we let them use it for $1 for, what was it, 10 years? For 10 years. And he would not renew the contract and evicted him. Now what he wants to do, if you can put that up on that document, comes, please and thank you. Now what he wants to do is pay a salary for the director, which the director, remember Ed was saying how bad the director, she's taking a third of the money or 2/3 of the money. Her salary was $50,000. How much is the director? Y'all remember that he had it over at the what's the name center. But now how much is this director getting? $84,500 per person. That's how much her salary would be for the director. Then it's going to be then they got the other positions. I don't know, does that get bigger so you can see it? And so I think it totaled out. This was for two. This was for two centers, the McKinley Center and the May Center, total out at $1,462,500. That's down at the very bottom. How are we replacing this as a revenue? Because according to what we should be doing with ARPA, you can only spend it on certain projects. This was put into revenue replacement. He didn't lose any revenue for no senior center because we didn't have one. He didn't. The city did not have to pay. Thank you. Thank you. So you see per year, per salary, $84,500. This is for those are the salaries and then the fringe benefits. So that is for two people. And so we didn't have this before. So this was something that he took on. We didn't lose any revenue. And so that should have never been put in revenue replacement if it was in it, because we don't know what they're doing. Compliance firm, look, they don't want to answer their phones or, I did send the request to have the compliance firm come because we need to speak to Brian Jerzinski. We need to speak to him. Did you approve this? Did you not know that our resolution that was down at the bottom that the five of them voted on, that at the very bottom of it, that meant nothing, that those ARPA funds they're general funds and it's no longer ARPA, and it does not have to be spent on those specific categories. They don't. and y'all heard him say it over and over again. We didn't lose any of this revenue. They voted, to approve this for the senior center. We didn't lose revenue, but they were call for the question, call for the question, call for the question. Love doing some call for the questions. And they had the nerves to complain that Beverly Lewis was getting $50,000 and that one salary is $84,500 plus fringe benefits. City never paid her salary. It was out of the funding that they received from the county millage. Now we have $54,000 that's coming in. Now they have a budget over here of $1.4 million. How do we plug in that $54,000, which was the question? They did not have the budget. How much does it cost to operate that center? What are the fees? What are the programming fees? What are the materials? What are the janitorial supplies that they need? How much does it cost to do the parking lot? How much is the parking lot lights? How much does it cost to heat, to cool? How much does it cost for security guard? We've been asking for a budget for the Mays and McKinley Center. Mays Center is open. They're paying for the Mays Center, which Mr. Moore did say prior, out of ARPA funds. But he doesn't have the amount of ARPA funds because we haven't approved it. So Mayor Neely has been paying for the Mays Center out of ARPA funds unapproved. We have Hasselbrink operating over there at Calvary Center because he kicked him out. And what did I do? I found a place for him. Found a place for him, went to court and stayed with them because you keep our community together. He divided our seniors. Mayor Neely, Sheldon Neely, divided our seniors, divided our clergy, our church community. He even, remember he threw the little kids out of the house of Esther. He didn't want the babies, all 21 rooms. He locked the door, wouldn't let them get the stuff because if you don't kiss the ring, then he's going to show you just like Trump. He is a tyrant. And if you don't stand up to him, he gonna destroy you. Is what he gonna do. Oh, she got a demon. No, I don't have a demon, but you do. But I bind up and rebuke you in the name of Jesus and your nonsense and your lies. We didn't lose revenue from the senior center. We did not. We now have an additional 2 centers, McKinley Center and also the Mays Center. And they have not given us a budget yet. But as you can see, this is $1,462,500. And they haven't told us how much they've spent because none of the expenditures have come to City Council. Like everything that, what they said this was approved, but we don't know. And so we don't know how much they've spent. We don't know. But they have 5 people who voted. Call for the question, because it was a power thing. And the power trip overwhelmed them. So, but we're going to go on. So let's go on, Jonathan. I don't know what's the next one because we went over for, I don't know what point that we might be at, but maybe you can text it to me. We are at, we started at 108. Can you tell me? I know you don't like to talk on screen, so can you text it to me? Oh, there you go. Tell me what Sheena did. Hey, Sheena, thank you for texting me. So, Jonathan, I need you to tell me what point that we were at because I know I had us all the way up to 207. So we at, I don't know where we at. So where do we leave off at? Our point. I know we passed 125. So maybe we are at 140. Let's do 1 hour and 40. 128. Okay, so then our next one would be 148. Let's go to 148, y'all. And look, click like, share, subscribe, hit that like button, and then donate to $J Eaton Media because I couldn't do this without my producers. I couldn't do it. Jonathan does a lot of work, and it's a lot of stuff to get out there, and we got a lot to catch up on. Listen, y'all, thank you. Please kindly donate to Cash App, J Eaton Media. We need him. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So he's going to do that. Y'all, it's down at the bottom of the scroll, too. It's down at the bottom of the scroll. So we're going to go on to 148. And I think Candace is trying to get some clarity for that.
To follow the the Treasury Department regulations. That's the only amount of the money that we have to follow. And that's where the 1.2 million or the 2 million came from, right? Anything that we put in the general fund follows state regulations. And I just want to make sure that people are clear.
Request for information. Are you saying that there's 2 million left in the?
I did not say that. The 2 million in the money that before we spent to ARPA. Is that was my question
No.
to Mr.
That was the contingency money that we had.
Pardon?
That was money that was in contingency.
The contingency. So,
request for information.
what's your request?
Are you going to sit here as a council person, a sitting
Just a
council
second.
person, and say a resolution that we pass as a council that becomes law once we pass it as a council doesn't matter and they can do whatever they want with
No,
that
I did
ARPA
not
money?
say that, first of all. I did not say that. I said that the spent, because our resolution was clear, and I have requested a legal opinion on this, is that the monies had to be spent according to our plan. However, we keep saying, Ms. Burns keeps referencing not going to jail for spending the.
Information. Do not use me in your statement.
I will.
No, you will not.
So
use
I'm going
me.
to continue.
So you need to make sure you
And
stay
I am
germane.
going to, I am being germane.
No, you.
I'm
have to
really
be a
that I
Tito
am being
right
Jane,
now.
Ms. Burns. So
This is crazy.
when we sit there and we talk about how the money in the general fund can be spent, that follows the state regulations. The money that we previously spent follow in the federal regulations. Now, the presentation says how much was left as of December 31st. The end of this month, we will and Mr. Moore, I'm going to ask that we get those reports, copies, when
Madam
those
Chair.
are done for the ARPA as of the that are due April 30th.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
request for information, because you're saying, what exactly did you get a legal opinion for then?
I asked for legal opinion on our resolution on what they can and cannot do.
No, okay, so, because again, I'm not understanding what you need a legal opinion on, because nobody's argument has ever been that state regulations don't need to be followed. Our argument has always been, and we've maintained the fact that that money that we move to the general fund is still supposed to be spent under the ARPA categories, and nothing is supposed to be allocated without council permission. That has been what we have been saying from the beginning.
I understand that, and I follow that as well. However, when I sit there and hear a council member sitting there saying, I'm not going to go to jail for something, I want to make it clear because of the IRS regulation, or the Treasury Department, it's not the IRS, it's the Treasury Department's regulations say that we have to spend money like this, and we can't spend money like that. But the money that we put in the general fund no longer follow those regulations.
Request for information.
What's your request?
Madam Chair, with,
I'm going to call the whole group to order. Go ahead, Mr. Jarrett.
with the statement that was just made and the clarity that you provided in the difference and distinction between the money that was allocated pre-January 24 and which was transferred to the general fund.
Right.
What number will be provided from their reporting to the federal government are you expecting to receive?
I would defer to Mr.
Well, no, but you said you were waiting to get the report from
Well,
April.
we're talking about
Because that money is not going to be accounted, that report is not going to account for what's in the general fund.
correct.
And that's where my question
So, okay,
lies.
maybe I have been confused over exactly no, first of all, no, I can't speak today. So I'm hearing confusion over the ARPA money and over the general fund money. If we want, we have been promised a listing of general fund expenditures, correct?
Correct.
And we will get them as of March 31st.
That's correct.
And when will we get those?
It has to be submitted to the feds by the end of April.
Okay, so let's say the first week of May, we're gonna get that.
Request for information.
That's our time. What's your
Request for
request?
information.
I'd like to put a motion on the floor for 15 more minutes.
Support.
There's a motion on the floor by the councilwoman in the 8th ward, supported by the councilwoman in the 6th ward to add 15 more minutes to this discussion item.
But request for information was before that.
Yes,
so I
what
think-
is your request?
So the general fund money doesn't get reported.
No, they're going to provide that.
I understand that, but why do we have to wait? He just said that they're not going to do it until they do a report for it to send to the federal government. So I'm like, why can't we just get a running list of it now that the general fund doesn't get reported? I understand the $54 million in those dollars.
Mr. Moore, can you address that, please?
The way we track it internally is we have a master spreadsheet where
We're on point of
track
He's requesting.
all
it.
the
Request for information.
expenditures, all the contracts, both ARPA, the ARPA dollars, the 287, and the 101, the general fund dollars, and they're all on the same report, and they're all done at the same time. So at the end of April, we will have a report listing how every dollar was spent for the last quarter.
So it was obligated and we're going to report that it's
Right.
spent. Okay, now we have a motion on the floor to add 15 minutes to this discussion. And it's been supported by the councilwoman it was made by Councilwoman in the 7th ward, supported by the councilwoman in the 6th ward. This is the vote to add 15 more minutes.
Ms. Johnson? Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is absent. Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat? Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Jared?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
We have 8 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 8 yes, 0 no. Who would like to speak?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
So the reason I asked for 15 more minutes is because we keep kicking this can down the road. We need to come to a consensus as a council of what we're asking for, what we're looking for, what opinion has been asked of the legal department, and how we move forward, because we keep getting caught up on these two specific issues and no one seems to be on the same page, or half is on one page, half is on the other. Help me understand what legal opinion you requested.
I don't have it in front of me. I had asked about the legal opinion about between the general fund and the ARPA, the 101, 287, as they are referencing it, as well as the request that all expenditures come to us so that we spend according to the plan, because I don't believe that that's happening. So I've asked for a legal opinion to clarify that. And because there has not been a legal opinion, there's been opinions from other sources, what I found out today, but not from the legal department.
So then you didn't,
we
I'm
are-
sorry, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So we are waiting for that.
So then you didn't ask for a legal opinion on our resolution, whether or not our resolution was legal and they had to bring anything before us. That was not the opinion you asked for.
I asked for, do they have to bring it to us?
So, and I need you to give me some clarity as to why you would think a resolution passed by the legislative body of this city.
Because we know that items are being spent without us coming to us.
How do we know? Request for information.
What's your request?
How do you know that, or what items are you saying that didn't come before us?
I've just heard chatter.
Okay, that's fine, but that's neither here nor there for my question and me, because again, I'm just trying to understand, as a sitting member of a legislative body where we're co-equal branches of government.
Correct.
And we passed a resolution that said that any money that got put in the general fund that was under the ARPA category, even though it was getting put into the general fund, that it had to come before council before the money was spent, allocated, or any decisions were made on it.
Let me explain why I requested what I did. And it was because I wanted to sit there and take it and say, this is the legal opinion. They say you have to follow it, or they say, no, we can't. And if they have to follow it, then this is what they have to do. And they have to come before us, and we have to continue doing what we were doing, because it's not happening. We know it's not happening, and we've got to keep going. And there's been so many questions up here about that, about their not spending according to the categories and wanting more money for food access and stuff like that, that I wanted that in writing from our legal department so that I could present, so that we could follow it
Request
going
for
forward.
information.
What she requests?
How long ago was the legal opinion made?
I have to look to see when I met with Joanne. But she did say that she was working on it a couple, 2 weeks or so ago. But we're talking about the legal department.
Just an FYI, we don't get a legal opinion back, that means that
It was the 19th of February.
they don't want to answer the question.
So,
Okay,
All right, so we have that, even though I am of the full opinion that is a resolution passed by this body, that resolution should be followed. The second thing, Mr. Moore, we're asking you for two different things, right? Because we are clear that there are expenditures that go under the federal guidelines and then expenditures that go under the state guidelines.
That's correct.
So we want the amount that is left under the federal guidelines, which if we're understanding you correctly now, because apparently we weren't understanding you correctly in the past, under the federal guidelines only, there's $2 million left there.
Correct.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But that's not the total. That's just under the federal guidelines.
Right.
Only $2 million is left for that 2024 and before.
I don't think that's the right number, but you're close.
Well, we were given a 2 million number, so I'm just saying 2 million.
I think at the end of December, we've spent 48 million of the 54 million.
Talking about the federal money.
Federal money.
From the federal side.
So
Pardon? Yes, the 287.
So what were you saying with that fund?
If you look at this graph, mine's not in color, we have 54 million that was obligated, and we've actually expended 48 million.
So 54 million allocated, 48 million have been, 58 million 54 million obligated, 48 million allocated.
And 48 million has been spent out the door.
Out the door, it's gone.
Right.
Okay, so and that's where that 2 million number comes for, or 4 million?
It's more than that.
So give me those two numbers again. I'm correct in saying 54 million total, 48 million out the door.
Right. We have $54 million allocated under Fund 287, and we've spent 48 million.
So does that give us 2, 4, or 6 million?
By my math, it's 6 million.
That's 6 million.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then out of that 6 million, where'd that 2 million come from? How do we get that? Where did 4 million go?
I'm not sure where the 2 million,
No problem. We will operate under the assumption that it's 6 million until you give us something that
Right.
says something different. So from the federal money, which is the 2024 and before, there should be 6 million left based off of the 54 minus 48.
Right.
Right now, we're just working under the assumption that that is 6 million.
That's
And you're
correct.
going to get us something to show actual accurate numbers of expenditures from that, right?
This last 3 months, we've spent some money, so the next report will show you where we stand at the end of March.
Okay, I understand that piece, but we're going to get something for that in it by itself specifically.
That's correct.
Okay, and so now we're talking about the money that council allocated to the general fund that can only be spent with council approval. So now we're going to move to that bucket.
Right, okay. With that, we've had 26 million has been allocated,
Okay,
which means there's still 12 million to be spent or allocated.
so,
request for
okay, so when,
Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Madam
We have a request for information.
sorry, Mr.
Go ahead,
Through
Mr. Jarrett.
through you, Madam Clerk, to Mr. Moore. And that $12 million is what you call in the bank, right?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
All right, so then I think I misunderstood something earlier because I was told, so there was 26 million and then 12 is what I understood he was saying had been expended, and so that we should have 14 million left. Did I understand that?
That's correct.
No, so then I did understand that
You did.
correctly. So there's 14 million.
That's correct.
Okay, all right. Understood. So you're gonna get us something to show, full expenditures, allocation, whatever
right.
that's gonna get us to the 14 million
Right.
for this one.
Yep, the spreadsheet we have has more detail than you'll probably want to read.
Right.
But it has everything.
And Councilman Jared, I just want you to make sure you're on the same page. It's not 12 million. It was 26 minus 12 million, which is going to get you that 14 million. This is what he just said. I was correct.
Request for information. My understanding is that 26 million has been obligated, and of that's been obligated, the 12.5 million is what has actually been spent of that obligated money. So that 14 million is still money that is not in the bank. It's
in the bank.
It's in the bank. It's 14
we haven't
million.
wrote the checks for it, but when my understanding is when Mr. Moore says it's in the bank, it's available for us to use in a way. So that 13.8 is not available.
No, that's available. That has to
It
be
is
appropriated by the
available. I
city
don't know.
council.
He just said it's available.
But
But can you help,
Request
please?
for
Because I don't think I'm understanding correctly.
So, Mr. Moore, just real quick, the only money we have available that we can spend here as a council is the delta from this one to this one, correct?
That's correct.
It's not between this. This has already been spent.
That's right.
Yes, so this has already been spent. It's this delta right there. That's the only money we have left. No, it's not. Yeah, no, it's not. Okay, so from the 39, we only have from the 39 to the 26 that we can write a resolution for.
That's correct.
39 to the 26.
That's what we have technically in the bank. We might have more in the bank, but it's under contract.
Okay, well then it's 13 million either way,
That's
13.8
what I've been
either
saying.
way.
Yeah,
Right.
So it's 13.8 instead of the 14. So then you're gonna get us something to show that 13.8 as well. So we're gonna
Yes.
get something separate for the 6 million, even though you said you spent some money. So
Right.
I'm just putting an asterisk by the 6 million number,
Right.
only because I don't have anything in front of me. So you're gonna get us something for that, and then you're gonna get us something for the 13.8.
Right.
All right,
Madam Chair.
I yield.
Mr. Moore, I'm confused on the 6 million because we've allocated it. So we technically have it under contract somewhere, so it's not available to us,
The
correct?
26 million has been allocated. We
I'm
had
sorry?
that, the 26
I'm
million.
talking about the 287 number now. Sorry, I'm switching back.
Okay. The 6 million, that's under contract.
That's,
yes.
so it's not available to us at all.
You can't spend that money because that's under
So
contract.
we shouldn't even be discussing that because that's out the door.
That's right. We've already allocated, those are the
Yeah.
contracts that we're trying to make sure get spent.
So what is the $2 million that keeps getting brought up
That's the money that, if you look at the amount that was for contingency, and I think there's a.
so we
slide.
still have contingency in the original 287 number? Because we can't obligate under contingency, so that date is passed.
The contingency you could still spend. That wasn't.
I understand. So, but so the contingency money, we didn't move over to the 101?
That went over, contingencies in the 101, yes.
Okay, so the original ARPA dollars, the 2 million, you keep saying that they're,
That, we did not, there's no contract for the contingency amount.
but that's already in the 101 number.
That's in the 101 fund right now.
That's what I understand. Okay, so the original 287 number, there's no contingency. That number's been spent, right? So there's no,
Yes, that's correct.
obviously, it's been allocated. I don't know if it's been spent yet.
It hasn't been spent.
It's
but
been
we
contracted out.
allocated. If we don't spend it, we have to send it back.
Correct. That money is gone. All
Right.
intents and purposes, is it going to be spent or is it going to be sent back to the mothership, right?
correct.
Okay, thank you.
You said correct.
Yeah. I yield.
Request for Madam Chair. Mr. Moore, I think you mentioned to Mr. Moore, can you, so what was the amount that would be sent back to the mothership according to Councilman Pfeiffer? What was that amount?
For which amount were you talking
He
about?
said that if we don't spend the money,
Okay,
what was,
we
I
have
think
54,
Mr. Morley had that amount. I didn't catch it.
we have $54 million obligated under the ARPA rules. And we've spent 48 million of that. The $6 million difference has to be spent between now and the end of the year.
Now through December 31st. So that's the 6 million that may go back if
That-
we don't spend.
That's
it.
correct.
Okay, and thank you. And then, Madam Chair, to you, you said there was chatter. Do you have about ARPA that's being spent? Do you have a dollar amount for the chatter amount that was being spent without council approval?
No.
Thank you. Okay, cut it. Cut it, Jonathan.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Listen. This is the great ARPA heist. $40 million went into that fund, which it was supposed to be used. It's down in the bottom of the resolution. Be it resolved as, and it's not happening. And Judy is consistently saying that it's ARPA, it's 101. They didn't say that when it was approved, and the 5 voted on it. Now Candace is fighting for her life up there. So Judy her tongue is tied. Judy is, she can't talk. I can't talk right now. It has been confusion. No, they're purposely trying to confuse everyone is what they're trying to confuse. So 54 million was which is that 287 fund, which was the special ARPA fund. And the 287 fund was created to receive those funds. And so there's 6 million of that has not been spent. It's allocated, but there may be some issues with contracts, maybe some issues with maybe the mayor don't like you, some issues with them being able to get the money. It must be some issues, or they don't want to give the money because y'all watching. And they didn't anticipate y'all watching, and they didn't anticipate not having them 5 votes. So that 6 million, as he said, because we're down to the nitty gritty, has got to be spent. And that has to be spent according to the ARPA guidelines. And then when it's sent back, as he said, so let's say the funds that were approved and allocated for the witness protection. So if they don't spend it, it goes back. You got to find another witness protection program. They have to be spent identical to where they were originally allocated from. And so there's so many things when you talk about the Department of Treasury and the guidelines. There's so many things. So 6 million they haven't allocated. What are they waiting for? They don't have those 5 votes. Is it the 5 votes? Because that's a big chunk of money. So why haven't they done that? This is pure messiness, needs to be investigated. I mean, it is. We didn't have, how you gonna revenue replace something that we didn't have any revenue? City never spent any revenue on a senior center. And I want our seniors to go, but make sure they're doing it right. But now it's in general funds. I mean, there's a lot of things. So she's tongue twisted, can't talk. Then she said, I know items are being spent without coming to council. You're the finance chair and you down there. And you don't tell council what items are being spent, what amounts. No one's walking up to her saying, there's chatter, no amounts. It's not how that conversation goes. Look, they done spent money on this, and they done spent 50,000 on this. They done spent 200,000. They done spent 400,000. And she's holding the information and not telling. She's a problem. It's not her money. But she's acting like she's growing it in her backyard on a money tree. I can't talk. No. What happens is she couldn't keep up with the lies. Because I know she lies because she sends text messages that are lies. She's a liar. And she's been caught lying before. I don't know if it's just a thing or what her issue is. But there's so much confusion. No, they wanted it to be confusion so that you don't follow the money. They don't want us talking about this. 40 million went into that general fund. And that general fund on that resolution says it had to be spent a certain way. You're hearing them say in that council meeting yesterday, we can spend it in general funds any way we want to. Anyway, it's general funds now. Well, let's cover ourselves and get a legal opinion. We got to get a legal opinion. And what do you think that legal opinion is going to come back and say? Well, we have to go back to cancel. I ain't canceling nothing. We have to retract that one, or that one is obsolete. They're gonna have to go back to I guess amend it or send it back to resolution never land, because that resolution and the money has been spent. So you didn't allocate the money that shouldn't have been spent, because you still have that resolution and money hasn't went out, that it was not spent the way it was supposed to. So how do you do the bookkeeping? Department of Treasury, how do you do the bookkeeping on that? Because I don't know, because they all over the place. Well, let's get a legal opinion. Then we go back and then we correct it. We got to spend it by December. Got to spend that $6 million by December. By December. 6 million. After 54 million, 48 million has been, 54 million, 48 million has been spent, and that's the 287 fund. That doesn't include where they took the 40 million and put it into the general fund, which in that one, they got 13.8 billion in that one. And so, and when it get down to it, a real, it's not that hard. It should have been simplified to give to you, the residents. When they're speaking in them council chambers, it should be plain as day, but it's not. They all over the place with the numbers and what they were less confused. Then you got the other ones who say, hey, we're not doing your presentation. Yes, we had over a month to prepare, but we're gonna come with our laptops and we're gonna take our laptops and look, I don't have the answer. I can't answer that right here. I don't know what that is. I'll have to get back with you. Then when they start talking in circles and they avoid answering the questions. And when you ask, no, that's not what I'm asking you. And you read the Department of Treasury or how things are supposed to be spent, and you question, well, everything's above board. No one said you weren't doing anything above board. Unless you're doing things not above board. We didn't say you weren't doing it above board. You said you're doing everything above board. We didn't. I'm asking questions that you're incapable of answering. And his minions and puppets are on here. They are. They are on here. People have left the city and people went to make the proper complaints where they should. Absolutely, they should. Absolutely. And so when they get mad because we said the Department of Treasury, this is what the Department of Treasury is saying and how we suspended. And they said, well, we're not going to answer this. We don't have to. We leaving. That's your money. Stop electing people who are playing in your face, who don't respect you. That money could have been used to do some good. Congressman Kildee said, I can fill up a Brinks truck, give you a Brinks truck full of money. But when you don't have people here in place to put the money where it goes, it doesn't make a difference. Said this to Scripps News. He did. You can Google it. I've talked about it several times. And it's serious. He made sure, Congressman Kildee, that we had the funds. And that's what we talk about the sequence. So our congressman got us the money, and it comes on down. By the time it trickles down to our account, they were somebody figuring out, because we don't know who getting a cut. 6 million, we may have to send back. If they can't figure out how to get that 6 million into their hands, it goes back. And you as residents have a right to make a complaint to the Department of Justice, to the FBI, to the Department of Treasury. You have a responsibility too. It is not just for council to complain. This is your money too. You live here. You reside, because all of that mumbo jumbo going on, that was been a mess. And then they're trying to confuse, and then Judy, everything's just, I can't talk. My tongue's getting tight. No, your lies aren't falling out of your mouth like they normally do. She knows the money and chatter, but doesn't have a chatter amount, and has never said to council, they're spending money and we haven't approved it. She never came to council and said, they're spending money, the administration, Mayor Neely's administration is spending money and we haven't approved it. You're the check and the balance, Judy. But she likes, I don't know what I've never been fascinated with things like going to people's offices and other things. Those things don't move me. You take this job for the people. And the people are who are consistently left behind. And when they say the money never makes it to the residential areas where we need it most, it doesn't, because they don't have answers. And what it's turned into is a campaign slush fund. So the legal opinion is going to come back to where it's going to be 101 in American use any way he wants it. Now, Candace is going to have to fight and say that's not what the resolution stated. And Candace is going to be at odds in an election year with the mayor. And she's going to have a problem because she was on the wrong side. And so she's either going to have to come against him or she's going to figure that one out. But Candace is not going to take one for the mayor. I can tell you that. She's not going to. That would be too much like, right, Judas keeps holding up onto reports and documents and dropping nuggets on information. Yeah, but she might want, let me tell you something. People have already complained, and they should. And people have left and absconded. Seamus left, Ashley Harris left, Emily Dora left, Tyler left. We had Mike Brown left. I mean, I quit counting how many people, and was it Mike Keisha left? What who all left? I mean, you get people who quit all the time, and we can go down through the list of talented people who said, "I'm not going to be a part of this," and he will not talk to me like that. And what he does, because he did it to me. He said, I need you to go after Monica Galloway. And it was on a Saturday. It's second Saturday in March because it was a community meeting. And I said, he showed up at breakfast after the meeting where I was at Bob Evans. He said, I need you to go after Monica Galloway. I said, go after Monica Galloway. He says, yeah, because, Clyde's having a difficult time. Eric and Monica are really giving him a hard time. And I don't think Clyde is strong enough to handle it. I said, well, I think Clyde will be fine. I went and talked to Clyde and I said, hey, Clyde, if you don't have the answer, Mays is asking you a question. If you don't know it, just say, hey, I don't know. Let me get back to you and make sure you get back. Because Mays was coming around City Hall cussing everybody out. By Thursday, everybody was getting told off. If you didn't have no answer for him, he was going to the finance office. He was going to the police station. He was going to the city clerk's office. He was going to the customer payment center. He was raising HE double hockey sticks. No, he was raising hell up in City Hall because they weren't allowed to talk to him or answer questions during the council meetings. And so when Mayor Neely asked me to go after Monica Galloway, I said, I will not do that. I said, one, because you start learning the truth and the depth of the lies that were being told and the disbelief and the people who carry his lies for him. He's a good liar. I'm just going to tell y'all that. And I said, I will not take a jewel out of that woman's crown. And I wouldn't do it. Because he sends people after you. And people do it to stay. I've had people write letters. We had the person from purchasing write a letter lie, and then it's on video. I didn't even have a conversation with her. It was like, she's like, oh yeah, you were there. Oh yeah, that's okay. And that was it. And somehow she wrote a whole letter full of lies. The purchasing manager or director, whatever she is. Amanda wrote a lying letter about Dennis. Then they wrote one about Mays. And so he gets people to get you in these jobs and he makes you do this and you feel pressure. Many people aren't strong enough to stand up to him. And when you stand up to him, he goes after you. He goes after you for everything. He'll get people to lie on you. He'll get people to come after you, your kids on social media. He'll go after your finances. He used council members to go after Mays 30 days, then 90 days, until they just eventually he fought so much that he got tired. So they broke him. Okay, well, now he's gonna be going after Tanya Burns 2 days after the funeral. Liddell and all of them, 5 of them voted to remove it. I haven't forgotten, and I'm not done with that yet. And so when we talk about that, then we understand that this is what he does. Remove her for 30 days. I got an attorney, and I went an attorney. Not only that, me and Mays took them to court, and we won in that case. And that one was with the Lentil law. We took it to the Michigan Supreme Court that he introduced an improper multi-member board that in the city charter, it states that any board with more than one member is a multi-member body. Therefore, the ARPA money was put together by an illegal formed board. They shouldn't have been able to allocate anything. They shouldn't have been able to say we want money to go anywhere. Why? Because it wasn't properly formed according to our city charter. It was not. And so when we look at these things, he consistently breaks the rules, and 5 people or more on that council have upheld it. Why? Because some of them got nonprofits thinking they're going to get some payments too. Because integrity and character was not something they've been concerned about, and it's something they have lacked. And now it's a turnaround. they go after you. Judy gonna stay in the cuff of protection with him because she likes it. She's weak. And it's easy for her to go after her colleagues than to go after and do what's right for the mayor. And she's a Republican, which is shocking because most Republicans would have his head on a platter. Literally, Michael Clack said he'll have you arrested and fired from your job. Clack, he went after you, and that's what he does. He's such a low down person. He even tried to bring up my children. Oh, your son. I got 3 kids, and my children have a father, okay, not a baby daddy. And the son he's talking about is pre-med. He needs to mind his business because I don't talk about his children because I don't go to the depths of hell where he goes. And he like, she don't live where she live. Where the hell do I live then? Please tell me. And they don't mind lying. Judy, you don't live there. You don't live there. Judy, you don't wash your feet. Your feet is blackish asphalt. She likes lying for him. And she does it all the time. They will go after you. They'll go after your finances. They'll try to break you. And he's used city money. We weren't supposed to pay the $225,000. He wasn't entitled to qualified immunity. Dealing with the Mitchell fire with the Mitchell boys because he intervened. The city paid $225,000. I didn't pay nothing. That should have came out of his pocket. He got a whole vehicle that he's driving around for FREE, okay? And then, we're going to play that. I don't know if I sent that to you. He gets off the backs and lives off the back because it's something that feeds into. I remember he called me one morning when it came to Burston Fieldhouse because in order to he made a deal to get someone out of prison. And it was a deal made with BB because BB wanted to have Burston. He loved Burston. And he said, I need you to write a letter. I need you to write a letter for me. And he said, BB kept giving me the wrong email. And he was like, why did BB come at 6:20 something in the morning? He said, well, why didn't BB give you email? Why didn't you send BB the pre-letter? I said, BB is giving the wrong email. So I told the then Secretary Jasmine, I said, call Commissioner Nolan and we need to have the email. And BB was just like, this, he was really didn't want to, sign the letter to endorse to get someone out of jail, but he did it. He made a deal with that because he wanted Burston. And he's always making deals. That one, and he says, I'm never wrong. I remember telling me, you get right over there to City Hall. You better be there when I get there. I said, no, I won't be there. And he told me, you're going to learn I'm never wrong. I ain't gonna learn nothing because you didn't make me and you can't break me. I'm not like the puppets and the women and the men that you run around. Absolutely not. And I truly believe I know BB didn't want to make that deal with him. He did not want to sign that letter of recommendation, but he made a deal because he wanted Burston. He loved Burston. And what Burston, I wish BB was here to see it because he had a dream. But dealing with Neely, what they call him Dirty Red, he's a piece of work. And just like this 40 million, his hands is clean. And what is he saying? Council in the presentation, council voted to put the 40 million in the general funds. It was in the presentation. His hands are clean. Council voted, they sent up the resolution, but in the presentation into the record, it is read, council voted to put the 40 million into the general fund. That would be the 5. Why? His hands are clean. What problems are we having right now? What is the 101, the 287, and they spent money. And that $75,000 just keep getting spent. And so he's managed to keep his hands clean again because he uses people. He forces people to do things. It's like he forced Seamus to write those 2 letters. And Seamus, I actually called Seamus and told him, hey, good luck on your next job or whatever. I don't think I know that you were probably forced because I've seen Mayor Neely force people to do things. And he tells people, you got to do this. I need this to be done because he tried to do it to me. So, but like I said, the resolution, his hands is clean. I know when we go back to verse, this is how he does deal. I know BB did not want, because BB told me. BB gave like 4-5 different wrong emails. It's like, I told you to get this done. Why are you calling me at 6 something in the morning? First of all, that's rude. I'll see you when I get into the office, but what you're not going to do, and there is respect. He lacked the knowledge and experience to run the city. He doesn't know how to manage. He talks to people so disrespectfully. And yeah, just like Mike Brown, we've played that with Mike Brown. He said that the mayor yelled and screamed at him. Mayor yelled and screamed at me. And did you fear for your job? That was during the trash hearings. The trash hearings. We cannot move forward with him. We can't. We need someone in the state of Michigan. Just like Congressman Kilder said, we get the money, and out of some $25 million phantom group that didn't exist, a fake group, a faux group, an imposter group, $25 million going to go to who and whom, and see if we can slide it through. That's embarrassing. And so it stops people from wanting to do business with Flint, because they talk, oh, the corruption in Flint, the corruption. And there's a lot of it. But you have an opportunity to change things. You have an opportunity. And I'm telling you, that Burston deal, it wasn't right. It wasn't right. And BB didn't want to sign it. BB was forced he didn't have an option. And it was a 25-year deal. He had wanted 30, and he couldn't get the 30. And he started working on it underneath Mayor Weaver. And then Mayor Weaver was supposed to win the election. And unfortunately and sadly, now we know she did not. And Neely made the deal for 25 years with Burston. I think at $1 a year. And so, but he had to do something to get that. It was a quid pro quo. It's quid pro quo. And so if any out there, Trevor out there, you can Google it, Trevor. And it was on Jasmine Green's email. And that was wrong. If you're going to lease a building, lease it without, you got to do this for me first. Because that building is a historical building to Flint. And then the renovations and the add-ons they're just great. And it's got a ways to go. It's got some budget short funding, but we don't have BB here to lead that. He shouldn't have had to have did something to get the lease. In order to get the lease, I need you to do this for me. It was wrong. It was wrong. So we are going to go on. Did we do 207? Oh, we did. We did up to the ARPA chatter. But she didn't. Oh, we covered all of that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, and we're gonna finish this last part. So the lead. There was a special order on to talk about the lead that Dennis had on. And Dennis talked about the lead abatement program, which we don't want any child with lead in their body. But I'm gonna tell you, it was the most embarrassing thing that City Hall has to be. There has to be some changes and some training. And so it was a lady, Miss Towner, and it's been several. And this is my thing, and it just got to be bad. So the lead abatement program, the lady with the video. Matter of fact, Jonathan, I think we have got, I didn't even think about our video. If you can play our video first. I forgot about that. Our short with the lead. So the lady was upset that and here's the thing, it's so much, it's like you can't keep track like that, those numbers with the ARPA. When you get it, if you can pull it, if you can just put it up. Also, you can't keep track of all the numbers. It's 8 million, 2 million, 4 million, 6 million, 39 million, it's 24 million, 54 million, it's 13.8 million. Let's play that. We talk about the lead. Can you tell us about your pictures that you have?
The pictures I have is a finished product.
Those were the finished products?
Correct.
Who inspects the finished product?
The state.
And the state approved what was in that folder?
Correct.
I'm deeply disturbed by that. And I can understand people because one, the program is supposed to be to help our community. And when contractors come into your home to get repairs done, it shouldn't make a difference of what level or income level that you're at. But some of the work here, did you see the ones where the cord was painted over?
That was just the lighting.
No, absolutely not. There is a cord that was plugged up and you can see it. That is absolutely not true. And when you look at the painting along the baseboards and everything else, I'm embarrassed to say that we have a lead program where lead is in that body and they eat them paint chips that they suffer their whole lives. That work was terrible. It was terrible. And what bothers me is these are seniors too, who keep their grandchildren, who will come to the house. And a lot of times you're in a position or you feel a predicament where you're getting something that may not be charged, but you feel like it's going to make it better. And it made it absolutely worse. And one of the things I didn't like, and maybe Ms. Sparks Green, you can answer, we were not notified. He said we couldn't know who was getting their homes repaired. Okay, so that's some of the work. There's, I don't know how many pictures that we have, but let's go to the timestamp where they came up. Dennis had another special order. And so we can go to the 4 minute and 4:58. And then if we can do that, because here's a program. And we've gotten several complaints. It's the same lady where they said they took her bottles to. He gave her back, the person that works for the city gave her back $20 because somebody stole her bottles from her house. I mean, this is literally, you can't make this up. This is serious stuff. So if we can do the, go to the 4-hour, thank you.
From some rogue contractor that wants to smoke in the house or have their dog run around or whatever it may be. But those are the instances. So I just want to make sure that we're protecting ourselves and we set expectations for the resident and we set expectations for the contractor that this is what we expect, and the resident, this is what you should expect as well. So that's all I have.
Add a checklist probably to their contracts with a code of conduct that they would probably have to sign before.
However you want to implement it, I just so that we protect ourselves so we don't get this stuff. And Madam Clerk, you could add 10 more minutes and I yield. Anyone else wish to speak on this?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
Thank you. So we did get, and there are more complaints. You got more than 2. The lady on Atherton Road, did you take care of her?
Yes, we're taking care of her on Friday. We already got all of hers.
Okay.
We did a walkthrough at her house, Ed and I.
Okay, and so there are videos where there were children. You're removing lead, and then someone brought their children to a house where she had to give her keys to make sure that we should not be doing.
Yeah, that's cool, but we wasn't removing lead at that time. So it's understandable because I was on the job site at that day. Lead was not disturbed. But I understand what you're saying. Gotcha.
Yeah, well, I want you to have the residents. That is not professional. And we have got her ring, and I don't think that the contractors and yourself were aware of her ring video picked up everything every day that you were there.
Yeah.
And we have the videos, and it's embarrassing.
Yeah, no, we was fully aware. It was 4 cameras there.
Y'all were cussing.
They not there for decoration.
It was everything that was being done.
Yeah.
It you don't say, the cussing on the the site and the children. And my biggest concern is the children there. Whether the lead was abated, I believe the children went into the house.
As long as lead is not disturbed, it's not a hazard. So children could be on the site as long as they doing.
So will you take, okay, Mr. Carpenter, I'm going to say this to you. And I know, maybe take a breath, because we're correcting the issues. And part of this letter is to make sure we don't have the same issues again. So a child, I don't care whose child it is, should not be on a site where there is any lead and the job is not signed off of, period. That's what I'm stating. And so no child should be in someone else's house when the homeowner did not sign off for Joey, Susie, Becky, and Kanisha to be in that house. that's recklessly irresponsible. So what I'm saying is tighten up your program. You know, you may know what you're doing, but tighten it up, because we shouldn't have to address it. And it is bad with the complaints and the videos. I don't know, Ms. Sparks Green, if you have them, I will send them to you. Are you over their department?
I've already discussed that with her.
Okay.
So she and I had a discussion a couple of months ago about it. I told her to do the police report because she saw the guy cussing. So we took care of all that. So now we're just going back and tidying up the things that he did wrong. But that contractor is fired. That guy, he will no longer be on any projects that we
So
have.
there was also one, I think on, was it Copeman Boulevard, another one?
So what you have to realize, Councilwoman Burns, is when people are complaining, they're not necessarily, they don't know the difference between our program and the state. So my doctor's office, the nurse there said that we did her house. And I went and looked up the address. We didn't do her house. The state did. So you have to be careful when you're getting these complaints, whether it's really the state or us.
I am careful, Ms. Sparks Green, but let me finish, please, because I'm serious about this. Yeah, because that one, I'm talking about the videos. I saw him in the video.
Yes.
And so there are other ones. So the other ones, I do need to forward to you the list so that it can be kept in-house. I don't want Flint.
Are you talking other videos from other houses?
No, I'm talking about other people with other complaints. I don't know which program that they're in, and I'll give them to you.
Because you'd have to give me the addresses. That's the way I could determine.
I'll give you name, address. I'm giving it all to you. Okay. So that your department can handle that part. Because I don't want Flint, this is a good program. With the age of Flint, that are most of the home, a lot of the homes would have lead in them. And so I think this is something we have to make sure we're working together on the same page, that if there is a complaint and, you know, we take it, we give it to you. I don't know what's going on with the $20. Another lady said they stole her mother's china.
No.
And I'm like, you know, this is so, and Mr., I hope are you hiring your relatives? Because
no.
Okay, because nepotism was the issue. So I want to make sure.
I need that to be proven. That's slander. So, you know, if somebody's saying that I'm doing something that I'm not doing, I need proof.
Yeah, we already vetted that.
So y'all got proof. Other than that, please quit saying that.
No, I'm saying these are what the complaints are coming in.
Well, we hearing it a lot. So if y'all got proof, please bring that to us. But y'all slandering my name like I'm doing something wrong, and I'm doing what I need to do to help the city of Flint residents.
You talking about the residents who are making the complaints and sending the videos?
I'm talking about whoever is saying that I'm hiring family. That's all I'm saying. So whoever is saying that, that's all I'm saying. Please show proof.
Okay, well, I don't know if the residents or if those people who are complaining, but I will give those to Mrs. Sparks Green. And then, but did you address the two ladies that came in to speak that day?
Yes, the one lady just left. That's the one we're doing on the 9th. The other lady with the garage.
I think that was, you said was a shed or something?
It was a shed that was already really just needed to be demolished in the first place.
Right, because there's.
But the answer, I'm sorry, Councilman Pfeiffer's question is, why do we do the outside? Because.
Oh, no, I understand. It's the property.
Yes.
It's the parcel number. I completely get that. That is any lead that, because kids do play outside.
Right.
And that would probably include old swing sets and old stuff that, you know, things that may have, you know, in checking the entire parcel or lot. I completely understand that. So I just want to, I will
be out there to look at her property to see if it's any trash or any residuals left over so that we can get that cleaned up if that's the case. This is the first time I heard of it tonight.
Okay. And then I think Atherton Road stated in this letter to sign off that hers was not signed. Someone signed hers.
That's new.
Yeah,
man, we still talking about the same two people, same two residents.
Mr. Carpenter.
So it's like
Mr. Carpenter.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me speak to Ms. Green, please. I just want to wrap this part up. So this sign off, we need to make sure that the residents, and I'll send you the ones, Ms. Sparks Green said you'll have them. I don't want to air everything out here because this is a good program. And I want to make sure we just tighten the program up.
Yes.
I know that you said you're going to be running background checks on the individuals who we had
coming out of the program. Yes.
Right. And I will send you those that have come forward, because a lot of people don't know if it's the city program or if it's the state program. But also, are we sending, is the state showing up at the city ones to inspect now? Was that? But I'm hearing Mr.
No, we have an inspector company that we hire to do our inspections for us. But I think Mike can provide, I'm not sure, if we can give the contact for the city, if you have any complaints for the city, for the state, that they can call.
If we can get that, I mean, but then they don't even really know which program they're in.
Yes, but they'll be able to tell them, and we'll be able to tell them by their address.
Okay, so I'll just pass them along to both of,
Okay.
to make sure both of you.
All
get it.
right, we'll take care of it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Madam, you
I'm done. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm done.
Anyone else?
Okay, you can cut it.
Kind of
You can cut it.
Discussion.
Can you play the ring video next? Okay. So we got maybe 2 more things. And look, yeah, I thought I was gonna be like an hour and a half. That didn't happen because it's so much, and we still got so much other stuff to cover. So if you can put up the video. One, let me tell you, the lady said that the video was on the 19th. She called again today.
Clean the whole house. I misunderstand what you saw already. Your ass wanna be cheap. I ain't being. You gonna get what niggas don't do? Hell, hey.
It's about 20 something videos. You do not take your children and unauthorized people onto sites. You do not do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. And they were still removing at that time lead. Why are those children? The whole program is to make sure lead isn't in the home. Why were those children in the home? And then when you do things when people can find out, the lady said that she didn't sign off. She said someone forged her name. Someone forged her name on the paper. 8 years into the program, and you're just now thinking you got to get a checklist? 8 years into a lead abatement program, and you're saying you just now have to get a list. This program, Jamaica Patrick Singleton and Dr. Pamela Pugh, wrote the grants for this. And these funds were crucial to make sure that Flint was on its way to real recovery. That is an embarrassment. And the number of people that have reached out to us is an embarrassment. Now, whichever program it is, if it's state or if it's that one, they're supposed to go back to fix this lady's, which that was her home in there. That was one of them. And Arthur Woodson had put up some things too that is on his page, some of the properties. And then there have been more people who have added on to it. What in the lead abatement? That's not what I want done to my house. Where's the integrity? How do you handle that? When I'm saying, hey, tighten up, not tighten up, that department has got to, that's a problem. 8 years into a program and you just not coming up with a checklist? Policy procedure, protocols. I don't understand how, I don't understand how 8 years in, you don't think you need that. I'm used to a checklist. One thing we'd have to go through before an alarm system, my techs had to go through everything. They had to do a checklist with the ADT with the monitor center. I had to do checklists, or the secretaries had to do it. And that's what they did. And I just don't understand that this is the best. And then you got seniors who are stressed that this is making them ill dealing with it. You take your children into a house that we're taking out lead to make sure children don't have to inhale it, touch it, come into any contact. And you open up the door, and they shouldn't have been on the site. I mean, they did not have permission from the homeowner. I mean, come on. We have to start working together. We have to. We have to start working together. This is election season. If these people are running, they need to be in council chambers. You need to know how the government works. I learned in my short amount of time, which I said to everybody, I got fired every day. Why? I was not going along with none of this nonsense. He said, nearly trying to run Flint like Gotham City. He the Joker. You got to understand how it works, how every department works. That entire meeting, we're going to break it down in other sections. I'm liking that everybody is saying now we're able to get the questions out. There's accountability, even though they never have any answers. I don't know that. I can't answer that. I'm not aware of that. Those are answers. But before, call for the question, call for the question, call for the question. Because you can see the level of incompetence, the level of not planning, the level of zero transparency. Flint should be so transparent because for 18 months, Flint's water was not treated. People drank the water and they said, you know what, don't matter. It ain't got to be clear. It's a little tinge to it. You're going to be okay. And they poisoned an entire city. People got $1,000. Some residents got $1,000. And then they taxed you on the 1099. And what did Mayor Neely go on the radio and say every single Saturday? It's not the ceiling, or it's not the bottom, it's not the ceiling, or whatever it was. It's going to be more money. There's more pots to come out of. Some people didn't get the $1,000 pot. Did he ever talk about water, the quality of water? He mismanaged the service line so bad that there was 4 times that he was charged with, the city was with contempt of court, and they blamed him. The judge did 4 times. And it was so bad the state of Michigan said, you know what? You lack the skill set to do it. We're taking it from you. This project will never get done. They mismanaged the wind funds, which is our infrastructure funds. Y'all been talking about that administrative consent order, which we got these projects and we don't have the money to do them, and your water prices are going to go up even more. I've been talking. I make sure the news, what I have and what I know, I share with you. State took over the service lines because Mayor Neely lacked the ability to finish a job that was at 90% when he took office in 2019. So 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, we're still replacing lead lines that when he came into office, it was at a little over 90%. And he couldn't finish the 10% or less. It's not leadership, that's epic failure. Epic failure. And everyone to help, but if you're still trying to say, I want the $6 million, the 6.5 million, that we got to send back is whoever put in there by September, October, they're going to be just passing because it's going to be general funds. He gets $75,000 us to death. 75,000. And so look, it should be up on our city one, because look, I'm asking to have that decreased. You don't get ripping off the city. Don't stop that. And we need the people to speak up. I can advocate for my seat, but we can't, and Dennis can, and Jerry can, and Jonathan can. But we need the people to stand behind us. That's why voting matters. Voting matters. And it ain't easy sitting up on that seat, because when you defend the residents and you talk about things, you get flack from other people who don't even know what they be talking about, but just want attention. Just want attention. I put up the documents so you can see. A change. We need a change. Get off. And Flint has the opportunity to be so great, but we keep getting people like, look at how it's ran. How did that ARPA fund present? And they had over a month to prepare it. Over a month. You got someone telling some, let them sue me, come up here, who takes kid into a lead abatement program. Which my signal is bad. It's 6th Ward. Okay. Do me a favor, y'all. If you can hear me, put a one up. Put a one up if you can hear me. No, there is no storm, Marcia. My internet sucks over here. Oh, they can hear me. Okay. Okay. And it goes in and it's awful. Okay. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So listen, we have to work together for Flint. We have to work together. We have to work with people who are like everyone in Flint is not a bad person. There are people who want to bring back Flint. 20 to 25% of Flint residents vote. The other, say 75%, don't vote because they don't feel that there's a candidate that's going to be honest, to be transparent, and is going to work for the people. And that is a problem. You watch this issue, this thing with me. Jonathan, when you got it, you can put it up, please. I think literally I said we all look like psychs. I'm like, what? Do they think we're supposed to believe this? Flint has an opportunity to do something great. So, with much prayer, and there'll be another announcement later. It says, with much prayer and consideration, after serving in the 6th Ward Flint City as the Flint City Councilwoman, 6th Ward, I have made the decision with my family, because this Flint's a different city, to take out petitions to run for mayor. After months of listening to residents, we know that we need change and transparency for us to move forward together. To achieve this goal, I need your signatures to help place me on the ballot in August. Do me a favor. Please inbox me, call me if you're willing to support me by signing my petition. And I want to thank everyone in advance. So listen, I need your signature. I need your signature on the ballot. I'm not changing. This is who you're going to get. What I have did is I kept my promises. I came into office. I was going to be transparent. I made sure that I kept the residents abreast of things. I made sure that I was going to work on blight. Um, I made sure that I would look. I'm impressed for Chief Green with a comprehensive public safety plan, so I wrote my own. There were things that I want to change with you. I want to make sure that there are things that we do together to move Flint forward in a positive direction. So if you are willing to sign my petition, because this is a we, and there'll be an announcement later. We've been getting some signatures, but I want your signature. I want everyone to know that my commitment to you and to the city is real. My commitment, one of the hardest things I had to do was when I was illegally removed from my seat. Most people would have stayed home and said, you know what? I'm done fighting for the city. I didn't miss a council meeting. I did not. And people didn't know that I knew for probably 2-3 months when they were going to remove me that I was going to be removed, and my attorney, because my fight for the residents is real. Flint should be a vibe just like Detroit, but in a smaller way. And we need real growth. Take care of the people that are here. And I don't want people to be misquoting me and saying, she believes in gentrification. No, gentrification is already happening. We have to take care of the people who are here to make sure they don't get priced out their community. In order to have growth in new business, we have to have new housing. We need affordable housing. We need real change. Who has been fighting for you? Who has stood the line? The hardest thing I did was to have to come to that podium after being removed, hiring an attorney at my expense. Didn't sue the city, but I could have, because I know we need real leadership. We got good people, but we need people who gonna know how to get the money down to you. So if Congressman Kildee was getting the money and now it's Rivetta, or if we are replacing Senator Gary Peters with either Haley Stevens or McMorrow or Abdul El Said, whoever, we need to make sure that when the money gets here, it doesn't go to a 501. I mean, a 501c3, because they all have nonprofits. And I told you about the nonprofits. I fought from my seat with honesty and integrity and kept the residents aware. I did this because I kept my promises to the residents. This is serious and some serious times. Now they're talking about a 287 and it's into the 101. And let's get another legal opinion. Because we're going to figure out that 6 million that hasn't been spent from the 54 million, but 48 million has been allocated. How do we get that into our pockets? So if all I need you all to do, y'all can text me, inbox me. I will come to you. I will come to you. I will come to you because this is important. I'm not going to change. It's about us. It's time we take our city back. It's time that the next 20 million, 100 million, 100 million in wind funds mismanaged. We had 94.7 in ARPA funds. We know that was mismanaged. Why? Judy's heard some chatter. They've been spending money, but she didn't tell her colleagues. 94.7 million. It wasn't all accounted for. Did it reach you? Did it reach you? What were people say? Well, you don't deserve anything. You're not entitled. When it comes to your city, you were poisoned. That $1,000 check that we got, and then you were taxed on it with a 1099. Our water prices go. When I said on September 23rd, do not vote for the administrative consent order. And what did they do? Call for the question. Why? Because that puts the burden back on us. And what are they saying now? Gleewa, our water prices are going up. And like I've kept you abreast and let you know, hey, not just that, because the wind funds were mismanaged. Mayor Neely didn't find $24 million. He lied. He did not find it. That was money that was set aside for infrastructure. We don't know what he spent the $24 million on. We don't know. And so we have to have accountability. What city has a mayor that gives city council 1 minute to ask a question and no response? He doesn't care about the council and the residents. It's about position and power. Should B.B. Nolan had to have make a deal to get Burston? No, he shouldn't have, because he should have been able to get it without having to make a deal that he wasn't comfortable with, giving 4-5 wrong emails. You do this for me, I'm gonna do this for you. It's time we get people in here who work for the people. I kept my promise. When I ran for city council, he put so many people in that race. He even had people going in as write-ins. I won the primary and I won the general. What I have always done was work hard for the people. And that's not going to change. What's going to change, we're going to start making sure that money reaches you further into the neighborhoods, that it reaches your door, that we no longer have to worry about people where the money's going, because it's your money. I have no problem ever coming to council. Look, and if my doctor's nurses on here, she know I came because she know. Let's take your blood pressure, because in times that I was sincerely concerned that it's like, is your blood pressure? Your blood pressure is probably going to go up. You just go ahead and go. That when we know that we're talking about the safety of our streets, that in 2024, 10 children were shot, 6 were fatal, and there was no public health crisis. There wasn't one. And then when we talked in our budget hearing, Judy Priestley wanted to shut me. You're not going to shut me down when I'm talking for the people. You will not do that. It's time we start getting people in the office, holding them accountable, making sure they do what they're supposed to do. People who listen. People who say, okay, hey, do you have a blight plan? I got a blight plan. I got a comprehensive public safety plan. I got a 100-day plan. Listen, I'm going to bring back a DPW, okay? Got that. People, when I took that call, literally, a person texts me. And I try to keep my promises. I had some baked lasagna, or baked goulash, twice baked goulash that I was having to make. I'm like, look, I can't talk to you right now. They're like, well, look, I text you this. I said, well, I'm talking to you. And they said, if you run, I will support you. I will support you. And I want us to win. I want us to come in and be so strong that when we come in, that we are building a staff. And that is what I've been doing. I didn't think this pericarditis, I don't know what the Lord set me down for a minute, said, you take a break before you take your next leg. I ain't never looked at these gray walls so much in my life. I watch MacGyver. I watch Knight Rider. I watch stuff. And I never watch TV because I like to read. But God was working with me and dealing with me and making sure that this was something that if I do it, I commit to. It's the same as city council. People told me I would not win. They told me I would not win. God has got the last word in everything. And not only did I win the primary, I won the general. At the end of the day, when I walked into Vibes Club, it was Vibes, where my friends had given me, I didn't know what I was walking into. It was Equana Hartwell, Mercedes Kenny, Stephanie Rogers, my cousin Antoine Little. I was so tired working on those poles out there. I said, Lord, what I did was run my best race for the people. I ran my best race for the people. I could take it if I win or if I lose. And I was okay. So then the numbers start coming in. They had buffets. They had the chafing dishes. They had balloon arches. Look, Dink, no, that was the best out of the vibes. They hooked vibes up. Dink had it was all kind of stuff. It was just nice. It was so nice. All the news crews came over and was eating at my election party. And we had a great time because what I did was said, if I'm running to win. And I promised you, I want to run to win for the people. I want Flint to win. I want to see us win. I don't want us to be embarrassed anymore. I don't want us to say, that's just so Flint. It's not. Flint has the right to have a level of excellence. And we got to stop voting for our friends. And I see it, people, well, you know, he's got the money. Mayor Karen Weaver ran against Dane Wallen. She had $50,000. He had almost $500,000. And she won. Stop telling people what they can't do. Do not let people control your destiny. They don't get to do that. People will always try. Don't let them psych you out. Y'all see what was done. They have more non-answers than they have answers. And when you asked about the money and when the little presentation was done, what did they do? They closed the book on you. No, we should be writing new chapters in our life for Flint. We need economic development, but taking care of those who are here. We need to make sure that we keep residents in their home. And I have faced the same problems as each and every one of you. I have. Because one thing, I didn't think the things in Flint would be so serious. And as funny as I talked to my residents and some of my ward, they're like, I didn't realize with all the work that you do that this was a part-time job. We call you all the time. We didn't realize that the pay was so terrible. And the pay is terrible. Not one day, even when I was sick, I took phone calls. My daughter took my phone. My friend Stephanie, we've been besties, and she told my daughter, while I'm in emergency, take your mama's phones. Take your mama's phones. And she took my phones and my iPad. And I'm like, then she said, she got to have one phone. But my commitment has been to this city. And now I need this city to commit to me and to help me win. It's going to be us. And we need to win. And guess what we're going to do for real? Y'all, just like, and y'all know I read, this is like with the salt. Why didn't we have salt? They just, oh, we plowed through. No, you didn't. Because the people was calling me. I was calling too. You know, my road wasn't being plowed. You know, we ran out of salt. Basic things to make sure that our city functions. You know, why aren't we getting the roads paid? They're going to pay what, 8.5 miles to 10 miles of road. Every road in Flint needs to be paved. Everyone. That's why we need somebody in Lansing. That's why I'm supporting Michael Clack, because I can call Clack and tell Clack, hey, this is what we do. He knows what's going on. Then we go up. Why do you think I held #1 forums? My forum for Abdul El Said. I've spoken with Congresswoman Haley Stevens, and I've spoken, Mayor Weaver has spoken. She is supporting Mayor McBride. So we're building relations. So that money comes down to you. We got potholes the size of car doors. And we should not have to live. They know that every street that there was a water line on, they cut it. And that's major roads and side roads. Flint deserves to be paid. We need somebody who's going to make sure when the money comes down from there, that it gets down to you, to us, that it affects our life. Imagine not being on the road that you're not doing like this. Or they're like, what pothole did you hit? Them ain't the bad ones. That's the sad part. And so what I need is for you, for us. This is a we thing. I'm not letting people tell me. They told me before I should have won. They told me I would not be a black woman, the first black woman owning an ADT dealership in the United States, because I didn't know what I was doing. Oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. She didn't do. No, you don't get to control my, the first black woman to own an ADT dealership, not only in Michigan, but in Illinois, and did business in Indiana. And why? Because you don't control my destiny. Took my company from being ranked over 360 to ranked in the top 10. Didn't make my money in here, but did moved from work, did a buy home from Chicago to Flint. I did it, and I did it to raise my family. I also took men who were coming out of prison, trained them properly how to talk continuously and repeatedly, put them in shirts and ties, built them up and didn't tear them down. You had a felony, as long as you didn't have a burglary. What type of a felony for child support? No, I'm getting ready to give you a job so you can pay your child support, and I'm deducting out of your check also. When you breathe back into people, into your community, it gives them self-worth, and you build relationships. You build them, and that is what we have to do. I can't be more transparent than what I am, working for the people. I don't go along with the okie doke. I didn't when I worked with Mayor Neely. I did not. I didn't do it because, number one, I didn't feel he was right. He didn't have a plan. And on the board in one of my offices, because I had two offices, he was figuring out every day how to fire me, because if you don't do what he say, then it's a problem. It's a problem. But what I kept my eye on was the people. What I see in Flint as I traveled and I worked, lived in the third largest city, Chicago. It's important that we understand that I get gentrification, because the South Side has some homes then that was like 300,000 when I started, working there. Some homes over 2 and 3 million. But you have to know how to take care of the people. And that's where you don't leave them out. Establishing programs so we don't tax them out. But until we get a bigger tax base, we can't fix the roads. We need to improve our schools. We need to make sure we have funding things properly. We need to pay our firefighters, because there was 5 people on that ladder. 5 people doing the job that Tanya Burns would not do. But I have been a wife that was waiting for her husband to come home with 2 little children, that I remember him pulling those kids out the fire. There were 5 people that died, 1 adult and 4 kids. It changed him. I know how important it is to take care of our firefighters and our police. We got to have public safety. It's not okay. You didn't see one news article that 10 children were shot in 2024, and the mayor didn't part his lips to say nothing. He didn't even say nothing about the dead dog in the conference. Took his little podium out there, did his little press conference, packed his podium up, left the dog. Kristen went there and got the dog that she named Peter, and took it and took care of him. It took him to the animal control and make sure she took care of the dead dog's body. And so that's when we work together in the community. The homelessness, we don't have a homeless plan. I'm up in people. RL asked me for a ride home last night. I said, RL, I can't take you home right now because my passenger seat in my car got 2 heaters in it. I don't wear no coat, y'all. I hate wearing a coat. So I got about 6, 7 coats in my car. I got hats, mittens, gloves. I gave my last coat out to Alfonso at Save a Lot. We make sure, for me, it is we take care of each other. And we got to start to understand it's not an I. There is no I in team. It's we. I need all of you. I need your help. I need your help. I didn't change when I got in here. Any Black woman can go into an industry and turn it upside down and around. I kept my promise to Flint. Now I need Flint to make a promise to me to get me on that ballot. I need that, and I'm asking. So I'm going to put this on my page. You can contact me. Everyone, you can inbox me. Everybody got my number. I asked some man, he called me he was a veteran. and he was in the golf. And I said, well, sir, send me an email and I'll send it for you. He said, well, I don't know that technology. I said, well, how did you find me? He said, I Googled you. He said, I Googled you. But he was a veteran, and I don't know, Sister Audrey Muhammad, so he lives on your street. And I did contact Captain Urquhart, which I appreciate Captain Urquhart for taking my email and then sending me the ordinance, and he got right on it. That's what we need, are people who get right on it. Get right on it. Sitting here, and I was like, oh, why you got me? I should be out, Lord, getting signatures. I think I was like, no, I'm gonna work with you. I'm gonna work with you. You gonna come up with some plans. What's your economic development plan, Tanya Burns? Okay, I wrote one. I finished it. I've been wrote one. I had to tweak it. What's your comprehensive public safety plan? Oh, you know what? That 4 weeks I was off of pericarditis, I wrote one. What is your plan to deal with these gangs? I wrote one. It's inside of my comprehensive public safety plan. What is your plan to deal with these opioids? I got one. I actually got a book that I read that Senator Antoinette gave me. He gave me a book to read, because he was like, well, you know about this program. And I met with him. He was at a council meeting. I said, look, let's meet further to talk, because I want to bring good minds and smart ideas together. And I don't want people to say, oh, well, she's with this person. No, I'm going to talk to everybody. And I want people to understand this. Tanya Burns is not taking money from her campaign from anybody. So if anybody tells you she's with the clique, they're a damn lie, with capital letters. I'm with the clique of the people of the city of Flint. I don't do cliques. If you don't think I'm in a clique now, why would I ain't never been in no clique. I'm clicking with the Lord. I'm clicking with what's right. I'm clicking with the people. That's my clique. My clique is with the people. I'm talking to everybody. Black, white, Hispanic, Latino, male, female, the LGBTQ plus community. It's everybody. If you are within our boundaries, or if you a company that's willing to come in, I'm clicking with you. Let's talk and see what we can do together. My clique is the people. So the people saying that they need to stop. I never did no clique. No clicks. I walk to the beat of my own drum, and people gonna lie, but I need y'all to check them, because they can call me. I don't have no clicks. And I do want to say this. So one of the things I don't think people don't know you. And I sat down and hugged the person at one of the churches, and her and I had a very good conversation, because I don't mind talking to people. People have misconceptions. And I think that women get into some cliques. I don't do that. And I had to, tell her, I said, look, let me be very clear. My aunt, but I'm like, do you know my Aunt Beverly? Beverly, I said, Beverly Harrison. She said, oh yeah. I said, well, she goes to that church. So and Beverly, I said, growing up, I said, and my cousin, we had the funeral there. My Aunt Beverly serves on the usher board. My Aunt Beverly does all the youth there. And people may not even understand. And that's at Christ Fellowship. So when people are trying to put me, people, and don't even know, don't put me where you want me to be. Don't do that. Because I'm not going to do it to you. I'm not going to ever stop definitely a woman's blessings. I'm not going to stop anybody's blessing. It's not my place to tell you where God has a desire for you to be. It's not my place. It's not. And I'm not going to do it. And then people didn't know that my grandmother's first cousin was, and I used to go, she went to Antioch. My grandfather was a 33 and a third Mason. My grandmother was an Eastern Star. Now that's the one side, that's my mama's side. And in the Cornerstone, before they redid, and I don't know if it used to be in there, my grandmother's name was in the Cornerstone, Jenny Mae Pounds. So some of them Pounds out there, and they on my Facebook, those are my relatives, and Cotton. Then you go on the other side, my grandmother, Willa Mae Harrison. I told y'all, I got a bunch of uncles, and they don't play about me. They don't play, them Harrisons. And when you don't know my people and you try to put other people, don't do that. Because I'm not allowing anybody to put out anybody's flame. It don't even have to be mine. It's time for a change. And one thing, I don't care if you call me, if you don't even, I answer people calls who disagree. I don't have anybody else to call. And I had to call you. Okay, well, what can I help you with? And that is the heart that you serve with, that you put the people over the issue. And I don't have any issues with any women. I do not have them. I don't have any. Now, if they have them with me, I don't have them. I'm not, that's not me. I don't put the energy, because when I'm at nighttime, when I'm praying and I'm meditating, when I'm coming into who I am, I'm making sure that God is God's path and it's God's word. And this is my destination. I could have went someplace else and did something for these 5 years. I could have did that. But I want to see Flint. I want people to see Flint through my eyes. I remember the first time the president from ADT came. I kid you not, he thought I was crazy. I took him he likes music. I was like, I'm going to take you to a place for music. We went downtown and ate at the Cork. We was going to listen to live music. Yeah, I keep it 100 with him. It was Wednesday jazz night, live music. I took him over to the Golden Leaf to listen to music. He was like, are you sure this place is open? I'm like, oh, you're going to be fine. Because you don't disinherit your culture. You don't give that up. And for me, it is who I remember. I took another friend and he was like, I never saw Flint through your eyes. And we walked through downtown and they were like, I didn't understand. I didn't see Flint through your eyes, because people don't highlight that. I'm going to say I'm proud of my baby sister, Sheena Harrison, because she's Drinks of Essence. She did not have her business in Flint. I'm like, you need to bring it to Flint. She is downtown in the alley, and I'm proud of her with what she does. And so when you get women who work hard, let's change the vision. Let's make it to where everyone has a seat at the table. But we can focus on growing Flint, focus on making our homes safe, focus on our kids being able to play outside. Kids, and I'm gonna say this: kids play out in the front yard. Now, we were not allowed to play in the front yard. We always were in the back. I want our community safe. I'm tired of hearing gunshots being riddled through people's home, and sometimes they don't get the right home, or they'll spray down and innocent bystanders, or other homes are shot. I'm tired of that. I want to hold people accountable. You will not treat this like a vigilante city and it be okay. Not at all. And so what God worked with me was, what is your 100-day plan? Day one, we're going to work. We're going to fix the damn roads for real. We're going to finish the service lines. We're going to work on getting the infrastructure. We're going to do the work. We're not going to ever send $35 million back that was meant for indoor plumbing. We're not going to do that because we didn't have anybody to do the paperwork. We're not going to do that. That's insanity. The program was created based on Flint to replace indoor plumbing. Benton Harbor got it. Flint didn't have someone to do the paperwork. That is just crazy to me. You know, how do we make our residents whole? We have to get real leadership from the top down. So yes, I met with the people who are running for Senator Gary Peters' seat. Why? We need to be on the winning ticket. Because look, our streets are bad. Asphalt and cement is high. Look, we need to get this done. How many roads? I think about 600 miles of road. We need to, however, we gonna do it 35 miles. We need to make sure we're getting what we need. And we shouldn't have to ask. Flint needs to be at the front of every single line. Every single line. Infrastructure, Flint. New business economic development, Flint. We need to get roads done, Flint. We need to make sure Flint is at the beginning of every line. And we need leadership that's going to work with everyone else. And not on the kickback of how much you're giving to my campaign fund. So when people say, oh, well, she took, I ain't never seen so many grown people who lie. So many. I never did it. Never did it. But what I am going to work on, make sure our homeless population, we should not be about to send back $6 million of we don't know. And we have homeless people. And we have buildings owned by the city. We own Johnson School. right there on the park. We own it. We should not be sending back money. So I'm asking you to contact me if you need me to sign, if you want to sign my petition, or if you want to take the petition and get some signatures, I will bring it to you. And so one thing, and it's funny, when we go out door knocking, I get stuck indoors and everybody else be on down the street because people want to talk and I want to listen, because what may be a problem for me is not a problem for you. And one thing about it is we are going to work together. We got a lot of work to do. And I need each and every one of you. I do. So I want to say thank you. Everybody, y'all know, look like that. He said he Googled me. There is a website that is monitored. Where to sign, you can contact me. But I want to tell you each and every thank you for being on here with me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And pray for our city as we pray for our president. And I pray for our mayor. I pray for our sheriff. I pray for our children. But faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. And so we have to take action to make change. People have counted me out numerous times. But we're gonna have an announcement to come. But let's get these signatures. Let's show Flint that we want real change. Let's show Flint that we turn in all them signatures, that we saying, hey, we want change. I got a 100-day plan and it's gonna work. I bet Tanya got all that popcorn popping. And it's gonna work. I have a staff that's gonna come day one. We going to work. And when I say the talent, out this world. People who know what they're doing. Flint ain't had a DPW since 2022, March 17th. We're going to get some real work done. So I appreciate each and every one of you for staying on the line with me. But if you could please, because this is Jonathan has helped me so much. And then thank you to my moderators, Sheena Beckton and Patrick Jean. I love y'all. And to each and every, I could not read the messages because I have got, I had to get a new iPad before I went out, right before I went in. And I got to learn how to work this. And my son, the 30-year-old told me, Mom, you do know iPads don't last forever. I'm like, save all them smarts for something else, okay? But he was right, y'all. I had to get a new iPad. So I got to learn how to work this, and I really haven't had time. But listen, I want y'all to have a beautiful evening, and thank you for staying up late with me. I need your support so we can win. I need your support so we can win. This is a we thing. And so if you can please also donate to because Jonathan, I couldn't do this without him. Jonathan, and there's so much stuff people you just don't understand that I'm working on. You just don't understand. So if you could please kindly donate to Cash App, J. Eaton Media. And then we got another announcement to come. And we gonna y'all gonna be invited. Okay. But this is a we thing. Let's say we are family. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, singing was not my gift, just so y'all know. So listen, if y'all can please kindly donate to J. Eaton Media, Cash App, J. Eaton Media, I would greatly appreciate it. None of those funds have ever went to me, so don't believe that lie when they tell you. Producer Jay, who was on here, he will tell you she never, ever took a dime or a penny. Nothing at all. And I don't take a dime. So this is just to make sure that I can continue to bring you information and to bring you real clarity. To bring you clarity In regards to, thank you, Avis Harper, for the super sticker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Reed Johnson, for the 1999. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Reed send me a blessing and a prayer every morning. Every morning. And sometimes I don't get a chance to respond by the afternoon because I'll be busy doing stuff. But she always send these prayers, and I love the prayers because I want people praying for me. As I pray for the city, I want the people that's right praying for me. Let me say that. I don't want everybody praying for me. I do not. So we have other announcements that are going to come, but I will keep everybody in the loop. And one thing is about it, I like to tell you will hear from me first. I will tell you, but like I said, there were things that I had to get over, and I had to get healthy. I had to heal. And that was my number one priority, to heal. And to my doctor's office, I did see her on here. I love y'all, and I love my doctor, Dr. Manaz, and I love his staff. I honestly do. My Dr. Manassian will come and make sure I am always okay, and his staff be on it, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So look, to each and every one of you, thank you, Sheena Becton, and thank you, Patrick Jean, and thank you to each and every one of you, and thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So look, we're going to roll on out. So look, we're going to do a part 2 because we got some stuff we got to cover. Because your girl, look, February 3rd, I was really pretty much out. And I couldn't go out and do this. So y'all understand what was wrong now. I had no business even on that line. I had no business coming to them council meetings. But my doctor was like, well, are you going to stress at home? Yes, I'm going to stress that one. I was like fighting the air on the TV. I'm like, I just need to go. I will be calm. They're not going to stress me. I need to be there. So listen, I appreciate each and every one of you sending love your way. Let's do something great for Flint. Let's work together, and I need your support. So Jonathan, thank you for this evening. And let's sign on out, y'all. Jonathan.
It's the Tanya Burn Show. Tune in right now. Like and share, our city needs that vow. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up, we're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tanya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step it all renews. Step it